Oh no, Barrow have lost again 3-2 at Brit. That's the one I don't want to come down. Crawley's okay for obviously. Bristol Rovers, big club.
Yeah, good.
Newport, never been there. Harrogate, straight up north, you know, it's not great, but it's better than Barrow.
Well,
we do not want to lose Gateshead and Morecambe and then get Barrow, South Shields, and Fylde.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, I think Gateshead are cooked. But at least we lose Truro.
Exactly. Just coming to me now. Right, so. Yeah, I don't think so. Not just at the moment anyway, Robin. Things can soon change, of course. One change for the shots. We don't know yet whether it's enforced or not, but it's significant in that Ollie Scott, who for me has been Aldershot's best player across the last month, is not in the squad at all. And Matt Penny, though, who does play naturally left-sided defence, comes in for him to try and mark the very worrying talents from Aldershot's point of view of Cal Roberts. So one change as the shots go up against 5th place Scunthorpe. He's doing it over a short bed, so having talked too much about the left back position, I thought I better not read the team out now. I mean, in a 30-second headlight, that's all that you want to say in the changes. Yeah. Yeah. Look at Scunny's start to the season on that graphic.
Yeah.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a heck of a start.
To be honest, we talk like they've wobbled a bit of late, but if you go like that...
It hasn't been updated.
It's a 7 out of 8. No, it hasn't. That's a good point. That's very rare on this site.
Yeah, it is. I always use it.
So not 1 in 3 then.
Yeah.
Conceded 7.
I'd like to wish a very, very welcome this afternoon to our 2 mascots there, Eric and Zachary. We hope they have a lovely afternoon here at the stadium. One birthday message today. Happy belated birthday, Anthony. Love mum, dad, all your brothers, Rachel, Nan and Grandad. The Shots Away Travel Group will be running a coach to our forthcoming away games at Braintree Town, and the Tour of Duty fixture at Morecambe. For the Braintree game this coming Wednesday, hosting the Stadium at 3:30. The price is £32 for members and £35 for non-members. The Forest Green coach departs at 11 o'clock, with the charge being £27 for members and £30 for non-members. And for the Morecambe departure time is 7 o'clock, and the fare is £52 and £55. To book a place on any of these trips,
good afternoon, Mike. That's listening in. You're the first to let me know, Mike. Thank you very much. Haven't seen you for hour and a half. Have a good afternoon with the kids, mate. Ooh, there's a little stat. Scunthorpe have scored. They're coming to a ground, a team that rarely keeps a clean sheet, and they've scored in each of their last 12.
Yeah, but also conceded in most of their last 12 as well.
Very true. Let's just shake on the 3-all now and be done with it.
Yeah.
Good afternoon to you, by the way, from the EBB or the EB. We're opening the lines now to vote on this one. We're suddenly questioning ourselves after a long time of calling it the EBB Stadium. The person who I think decides that is the very gentleman that is Tim Baxter, the owner of that company, major sponsors for Aldershot Town. Myself, Rob Worrell, Steve Gibbs alongside me today, and you might find us chit-chatting in the next 10 minutes or so, and then around about 7 or 8 minutes to 3 we'll get going with this afternoon's commentary. Scunthorpe have only lost once all season to a team 12th or lower.
Lies, damned lies and statistics, Robert.
Yeah. That's in 15 games. Makes it more of a stat, doesn't it? And that bizarrely was Altrincham away 4-2. Altrincham, incidentally, who play a little bit like Aldershot do at times, don't they? So, allegedly Boston do as well, just not when they played us. Lindsay Morris says, good afternoon, Rob, and all Shots fans around the world. Let's have 3 points, please. And I think Lindsay's referring to Shots around the world because whilst, as ever, there could be lots of you listening from all different corners of the world, some of you from around the country and around the world have made your way to the EBB today as what is now going to be, I'm told, an annual event, the second ever return of the Strays. And apparently many of those people have been here since last night and in the Crimea since it opened today. And after the game today here at the EBB, the lounge will be open to all. They're going to be showing a rerun of the FA Trophy win back in May, with the trophy up there for the last or one of the last times as well, I understand. Not quite sure why I'm sharing this with you all on air, because if you're not here, then I don't know. Have you still got time to get here? Are you astray? Probably not. 19 minutes you've got to get here. If you're sat at home umming and ahhing. Should be fun afterwards, particularly so if Aldershot get a positive result today. And that's going to be a challenge for sure.
What about a positive result at Wembley?
We have a fairly confident feeling that when they rerun that game upstairs, Aldershot will win it probably 3-0, Steve, yeah?
No.
No. I better be really quiet for...
Aldershot going to Wembley, they'd never do things easily.
No, they wouldn't.
Probably go to extra time and penalties.
Do you think they'd put their supporters through sheer hell in the first half?
Yes.
Nil-nil,
that's undoubted.
0-0 at half time.
Yeah. Probably go a goal down.
No, I think they'll come out after the break and score. It might be a bit of a fluky goal, but it'll go in. We'll get a second, and then we'll be worried with 3-4 minutes to go that they're going to blow it, and then probably JB will do JB kind of thing, and maybe dipping volley over the keeper into the top corner or something.
Who knows? I think even knowing it's coming, I could still watch that game back, and it would get me.
Yes, just to be clear,
I think I'd still be in bits.
If you joined halfway through that conversation, listeners, we were talking about a rerun of the FA Trophy, not what's going to happen today, although we would take a similar scenario.
Yeah. Unfortunately, JB cannot do JB things because he's not playing, but maybe J8 can do JB things.
While we're chit-chatting here, Steve, has it been a surprise to you? Because despite the fact that John's done well, and despite the fact that the team have been doing better, it did seem to me that largely the long period of games without a win and straight losses, Josh Barrett wasn't around for most of those, and then as he came back, even if he wasn't in the finest form in front of goal himself, he literally started clocking up the assists again, which is more than good enough. Thank you, JB, we love you. So is it realistically quite a surprise now that narrative you could run with kind of doesn't quite exist now, because Aldershot for the first time this season are finding a way to play well, to score goals and to be quite consistent without Josh for the first time?
Yes, I mean, I think that's in large part to Charlie Warren and Sean Patton,
the poaching instincts of Patton,
who have come in and currently throughout the whole season have the best or the lowest minutes per goal involvement of any players. Those two are at the top, and third in that list is Mr. James Henry, who clearly his minutes have been limited, but as expected of a player of his experience and quality, when he does play, he makes a difference, he makes an impact. And I think you think of what Josh Barrett, Patton and Warren could do on their own, could do in the same team, and you think, well, that's really exciting. And then you've got the renewed defensive solidity throughout the whole team, and they are defending from the front and attacking from the back, but that whole team cohesion is so much better than it was. And I think any team at this level is going to miss Josh Barrett, but the likes of Patton and Warren that have come in have taken up that slack and taken on that burden in fine style.
They certainly have. Interestingly, I don't think there was anything wrong, but as the team went over to the goal in front of the warm-up, the East Bank, to do their final little sprints and acknowledge the fans, James Henry didn't join in that bit. He trotted down the tunnel and into the dressing room. It might have just been that he knew what that bit was, and he just wanted to go back and get to it. He wasn't limping or anything. I don't want to start any dramas here. He could have scored, Steve, within the first 30 seconds on Tuesday night, and he had 3 chances in the game. Hadi Gandor similarly worked like a Trojan again down that left flank. Also could have had a hat-trick. We mistakenly gave the goal to Hadi amongst the confusion, and weren't the only ones.
Understandably, having seen it on TV, understandably.
Yeah, I think even Michael, who's doing the club's media at the minute, initially put out Hadi, but we apologise for that error. great game, great atmosphere. I had a lovely team alongside me as well with Joe Pope and Julian Walters. And largely we had a cracking night. It was actually, from a commentator's point of view, quite frustrating because I actually got 2 of the 3 scorers wrong. I called the wrong player for Yeovil when he cut in and curled it in the top corner.
That was a heck of a finish as well.
And that was my bad. So it left me feeling quite irritated and frustrated. But that was the only thing that irritated and frustrated me on the night. Quite unbelievable, really, was just how the team's work rate and ethic just never stopped all night. And I had people asking me in the commentary box after the game, the guy who was filming it, Josh Staunton, the former Yeovil captain and Woking player, he's like, I need to see the running stats.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, and that's what John's instilled. I think we said it before the Halifax game when Robin asked us, what's the difference? And yes, there's individuals, and you can highlight Sean Patton, Charlie Warren, the return of James Henry, but other players that he's brought in, like Inwood and Boyce Clark, who have all contributed superbly in their own ways. But I think it's the team cohesion that, at the moment, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And I think that's what Yeovil were hinting at, that they are working for each other. They're working really hard, and he's got that buy-in, got that commitment. And something that Josh Staunton, I think, said in commentary on NLTV, on DAZN on Wednesday, was when Aldershot have possession, they make the pitch really big. They spread play. They really have that intensity and work rate. But when the opposition have it, when Aldershot are in defence, they make the pitch small, and they shut off options. They don't give the team too many options. And one of the things that you could say about Aldershot Town in the last few seasons is they let the opposition play. They give you the time, they give you the space, they allow you to build up. They're too open, and it is that ethos of, well, you can score 3, we'll probably score 4. Now, since York, that 5-1 at York at the end of November, Aldershot in 10 games, they've scored 2.2 goals a game, conceded only 1.2. And you compare that to before, up until York, they were conceding 2.2 goals per game. It's a whole 1 goal per game fewer. And that is crucial. It is that goals win games, but defences sustain you over a season. They keep you up, or they win you promotion. And Aldershot didn't have that balance. Now they have.
Yeah.
And yes, it's the likes of Warren and Patton who have come in and added a brilliant cutting edge to all the creativity and approach play, but it's the miserliness at the other end, and I might just have invented the word miserliness, but whatever it is, it's that organisation, solidity, work rate, cohesion at the other end that is building the platform for whoever it is at the other end. Haddy Gandor to thrive. It's allowing Ollie Scott to get forward and arrive unnoticed on the edge of the penalty box, as he did at Yeovil, to finish superbly. And it is that cohesion and that defensive solidity, that base from which other players can look good.
Yeah, absolutely. Concur with that. Hello, Colin. How are you doing? Hang on. We're just hearing from Colin Hayden from Tenerife. Oh, no, he's not. He's over my left shoulder. Good to see you. One of the strays aforementioned returning. I'll see you in the bar afterwards. I'll pop in. I'm going to stay for a bit. All right. Cheers, Colin. Yeah, the return of the strays. We just talked about it, and one of them just showed up and said hello over our shoulder. If you joined us late, or not late because you're 10 minutes before kickoff, but if you didn't hear us say, Ollie Scott not in the squad today. We're awaiting news on that. Hopefully nothing serious. He was certainly okay and walking absolutely fine after the game on Tuesday night at Hewish Park, because we saw him come out, walk over to the far side of the pitch to do his club interview, and then come back again. Matt Penny comes straight in for him. Otherwise, we think it will be pretty much the same. Brodie Pert will continue in that right-sided attacking position that Charlie Warren's been doing so well in. Just comparing those two, Steve, Charlie Warren's got very, very, very quick feet. I think he's probably a little bit more agile than Brodie Pert, but Brodie Pert is big and strong, and and he won a lot of balls in the air, and his control's good. He brought it down, and I think there's a good up-and-coming player there as well, and we may yet, who knows, we may see the best of him today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he arrives with a really good pedigree, coming primarily out of Wycombe, but cut his teeth, learnt his trade at Basingstoke, just down the road from the Ebb Stadium, and yeah, he arrives with a good pedigree and reputation for being a real handful, a big, physical, target man kind of striker, but someone with good feet who can play the channels, who can drive forwards, and maybe he's an obvious example. You may be looking at someone like Danny Whitehall in the opposition lineup for Scunthorpe this afternoon as maybe that he is that kind of player, someone who's big and strong and physical, but is mobile, can play the channels, and has got good legs and that classic good touch for a big man. He's not just strong in the air, and you hope that Peart will be able to hit the ground running for Aldershot and be another of those burgeoning attacking threats that John Coleman is developing, because certainly in Danny Whitehall and Callum Roberts, and also Oliver Ewing as well, who's maybe the forgotten part of that really dangerous triumvirate for Scunthorpe, they've got some real good attacking strengths here. And Roberts has got 10 goals in his last 9 games. Whitehall is always a threat. Ewing, creativity, and if you forget about him, he will punish you. Aldershot Town need to be on their mettle front to back this afternoon if they're to get anything from this. Even though Scunthorpe, you watch the game against Boston last Saturday and you think, well, this is easy. Their frailties are there for all to see, and Aldershot are well equipped to exploit them. The openness in midfield, the way the back four maybe lacks a bit of pace and is easily turned. Aldershot Town can exploit that all afternoon with the hard running of Hadi Gandor and Sean Patton, but there'll be tough opposition this afternoon, no doubt for that. Scunthorpe will be.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to come on to their attacking prowess with Cal Roberts, but you covered it pretty well. Defensively, you talked about Aldershot really having brought it down from conceding an average of 2 goals a game to 1. As much as we could easily build a case for Scunthorpe coming here in 5th place, excellent all season, only lost once in 15 games against teams from 12th and down. They normally get this done. They very rarely lose. They've only lost once to Altrincham. But across the last 8 games, Aldershot have conceded 10 goals. Across the last 8 games, Scunthorpe have conceded 15.
Yeah,
so
and half of Aldershot's goals was against Solihull in one kamikaze 90 minutes.
That's true. So it's 5 in the other 7 games. Yeah.
And that, I think that is and I think the failings against Solihull were there for all to see. John Coleman highlighted it immediately after the game. The players were told to press because Solihull are pressable. They play out from the back, and the team just didn't. And they were open. And if you allow the likes of Joe Sabara to play through you, you will be punished. And that's exactly what happened on that day. But in those other games, Aldershot Town have been compact. They've been solid. They've worked hard. They've supported each other. They've been organised and known their own jobs individually, and that has made the collectivity greater than the sum of its parts. And we need that again this afternoon from Aldershot Town.
Absolutely. We're awaiting the teams now. Alive and Kicking has started up in the ground. Steve Gibbs and myself, Rob Worrell, will get going very, very shortly. As the teams come out. Welcome back to Will Evans. Been back here many times since he left, of course, largely with Boreham Wood. When we went up to Glanford Park earlier in the season, he was out injured. I had a nice chat with him that day, but he's been back in the team recently, and by all accounts was one of 2 or 3 that had a bit of a sticky day last Saturday at home to Boston. But what a response it was for Scunthorpe to only concede 1 against the league leaders Rochdale and get themselves a point in the week. We hope we're in for a highly entertaining game today, and our referee George Laughlin leads the sides out here at the EBB. Aldershot Town led out by skipper Ryan Hill in their red shirts, blue shorts and red socks, and Scunthorpe led out by Andrew Boyce in all black with a little bit of gold trim. The two sides shake hands now. It's time to give you your starting lineups for Aldershot Town, as we welcome, of course, our BBC Surrey online listeners, those listening on the BBC Sport app, and our DAZN TV viewers. In goal for the shots, Boyce Clark, a back four, we suspect, left to right. Penny, Inwood, Nightingale and Hill. And Hargreaves, Meerholtz and Henry, your three midfielders, with Henry more advanced, and then Gandor, Patton and Brodie Peart in advance for the shots. And for the Iron, Rory Mahadi in goal on loan from Leeds, played for their under-21s here last season in the National League Cup semi-final and went on to win that with Leeds. A back four left to right, Brandon Horton, Andrew Boyce, Will Evans and Ross Barrows. Midfield three with Joe Rowley at the base, Zane Westbrook and Alfie Beeston. Cal Roberts attacking on the right, Ollie Ewing on the left and Danny Whitehall up top.
19, Ryan Hill. 23, Harry Gandor. 25, Will Nightingale. 29, Sean Patton. 33, Sam Inwood. And 32, Matt Penny. Substitutes to number 16, Pat Nash. 4, Luke Jenkins.
Apologies if you couldn't hear the atmosphere in the background. I realised I hadn't turned our sound effects microphone up, so it's probably now blasting your ears off like it is mine. We've got two mascots today. They come jogging off the pitch with Lauren, who's been looking after them. Aldershot go into a huddle, Scunthorpe don't. And we await kick-off here. We're expecting around about 300 Scunthorpe fans. They took a terrific number in the week, 993 or 996, can't remember exactly. Just under 1,000 to Rochdale in the week. And a third of that number have made it here today. It's a lot further, the journey. There has, of course, been one or two doubts about recent Shots home games as well that might have affected that number. They're not under the East Bank roof, they're filling the slab and the final section of the South Stand. It is the Iron who have kick-off here at the EBB. Our referee, George Laughlin, checks everybody is good to go. And Alfie Beeston, another player who missed out at Glanford Park earlier in the season when they played Shots, is about to take the kick-off for Scunthorpe. Shots with 4 wins in 5, unbeaten in those 5. Scunthorpe have lost 2 of their last 3, drawn against Rochdale, lost to Boston and to Carlisle. And well, the clock to our right says 14:55, which can't be right. My 59, yeah, it says 55, so there's always a little technical issue with that scoreboard, isn't there? We are underway. Beeston sends it back to Boyce, who gives it back to Beeston. Scunthorpe send it out to the left through Rowley. Aldershot clear forward through Ryan Hill, and then Meerholtz wins his header. Boyce Clark comes over Sean Patton, and Scunthorpe lift it forward. Nightingale can cushion a header back to Boyce Clark. Playing big balls up to Sean Patton. He's not going to work today at all, with Boyce and Evans there to mark him.
No.
But here's a flick on from the Scunthorpe defender, which we might see an Aldershot player get onto. Patton tries an audacious overhead kick, wondering if it would fall into the path of James Henry, who was wondering if he even would have got on that 20 years ago, and I don't think he would.
I don't think he would, no.
The ball's back with Mahadi. He sends it forward, missed by Inwood, bounces on and goes through to Kanaya Boyce Clark. By this stage on Tuesday night, James Henry had a dipping volley just wide. He could have put the shots ahead. In truth, they had a very, very good start to finish away game on Tuesday. in some people's eyes and minds, the best complete away performance of the season. Of course, they did win 3-0 recently at Hartlepool and 5-1 at Solihull, but in both of those games they probably didn't dominate from start to finish like they did on Tuesday night. Scunthorpe were, by all accounts, under the cosh for large periods at the Crown Royal Arena in the week, understandably so, given the qualities of the league leaders Rochdale, but held firm and took themselves a nice little point. Here's a bit of head tennis in the middle. Inwood the latest. Then it's hooked forward, and Inwood gets the run on Danny Whitehall. And something, Steve, you and I were talking about off air a little bit of now. So Aldershot have tended to lack it over the years. In Will Nightingale, they have a bucketful. He just stepped across the line of Danny Whitehall.
Yeah,
there
Whitehall ended up getting a piggyback off Will Nightingale. That'll be one of the game's key and most fascinating matchups.
The midfield battle is going to be superb today. The running in the heart of that midfield with Westbrook and Rowley and Ewing, all youngsters with a lot of pace and movement about them, and then of course the energy of Hargreaves and Meerholtz, who were both superb. Good 8 out of 10 performances on Tuesday night. Here's Boyce Clark sending the ball out to the left side. Patton just bullied off it by Will Evans, and Evans wins the free kick as well. And Ewing's back there, wants to take it. Interestingly, at the moment, Beeston's out on the left and Ewing's more central, Steve. I don't know if they've just swapped, but keep an eye on that one. Beeston did start in the middle. Now he's going to jump for this, but he won't get it.
Yeah, Beeston can play more left-sided as well as central. And yeah, Ewing as well can play centre and left. Can play defensive, normal midfield and attacking midfield. It is fluid, lots of quality, lots of creativity.
For the benefit of our online listeners, Aldershot have won a free kick just inside their own half. Charlie Patton, this time the recipient of the foul. Yeah, I do one of those National League fantasy teams, and I had Beeston in my team for a good little period. He had a nice prolific little run before his injury. Not sure Iron fans would know if he's getting back to those levels or not now. Patton tries a sharp turn, Evans prevails, and Mahadi sends the ball into touch on halfway. Both sides finding their way. No real team on top in these opening 4.5 minutes. The scoreboard away to our right seems to be failing completely. Here's Hargreaves receiving the ball, turning sharply, sends it out to the right side to Brodie Peart, who tries to find him with a return pass, but it's well read by Scunthorpe, cut out, and well read again by Nightingale as it's played forward to Whitehall. And in that little battle between Whitehall and Nightingale, which is going to be an interesting one today, the first two little jabs, if you like, metaphorically, scored by Will Nightingale.
Yeah, and Whitehall, though, he only needs one opportunity. He's maybe not in the best form. He started the season absolutely on fire, but since then a little bit more sporadic, but always dangerous.
And he knocks the ball down for Beeston, who's working his way to the left-hand side now. Whitehall, I don't know what he was trying to do there, Danny Whitehall. He's just kicked it straight behind the goal. I think he was trying to deft a touch. I think he was maybe trying to hoodwink Nightingale. So in those first three comings together, it's 2 to Nightingale and one error really by Danny Whitehall. But we're not underestimating what we were saying before the commentary, that Whitehall and Cal Roberts can really hurt you, even if the team overall doesn't necessarily have the best day. Here is Cal Roberts on the right hand side. He's going to the byline, trying to make room for a cross, shows it, sends it back. He's just crept out of play, I think. Scored against Aldershot in that game up at Clanford Park. I think it was, from memory only, I haven't checked the programme actually, but I think it was Roberts and Westbrook that scored that though, or was it Ewing? Let's have a little look. Can you remember?
I can't.
No, you weren't there.
I weren't there, no, sadly, but no,
exactly.
I'm absolutely no surprise that Cal Roberts scored. I think you've said it, apart from injury, he'd be playing at a much higher level.
He'd be in the Football League, unquestionably.
And quite rightly so. His quality on the ball is absolutely brilliant.
Here's Henry picking up the ball in the centre circle, turns one way away from Ewing. The two number 17s doing battle, and now he sends a good ball out to the right hand side to Peart, edge of the area, comes back in, sends it back to Hargreaves. Scunthorpe quickly getting bodies back into the box. Hargreaves scuttles across the box, finds Henry. Henry finds Penny. Penny does manage to get the ball in, but it's blocked. Comes back to him. Can he get it back in? He's got it played off of Barrows, I think, and behind for the first corner of the game, coming in the 7th minute. Glad to see the scoreboard is now reset and working. 6 minutes 40 seconds gone. Shots nil, Scunthorpe nil. First corner of the game to Shots.
Really good period of possession from the Shots, probing first down the right, then down the left hand side, and that's been a feature of recent games for Scunthorpe, that they've been too easy to get turned and racing back towards their own goal.
Corner taken short from Henry into Patton, back to Henry towards the far post and caught without any pressure at all on him by Mahadi. He sends a ball down the right side, his left hand channel. Ball's cut out. A couple of early goals in the National League. Scunthorpe kept Rochdale out all bar once the other night. Oh, what a lovely sharp turn from Brodie Peart, and he is fouled, but he gets away, finds Henry. Henry sends it out to the left, bodies in the box, overlap from Penny. Gandor comes back on his right foot, sends it in. Oh, shot spilled by the goalkeeper, and Sean Patton is there again. Mistake from Mahadi, and Sean Patton, sniffing like any good striker should, toes it over the line from 2 yards. If you don't shoot, you don't score, and that's the team element to this. Gandor with a shot on target, Mahadi spilling it, and Patton poking it home. Inside the 8th minute, Aldershot Town 1, Scunthorpe United 0.
Excellent move from Aldershot Town, but unfortunately that is all about Rory Mahadi's handling. A decent effort from Hadi Gandor, but should not trouble a goalkeeper from that distance, that angle. Didn't claim it, and then Sean Patton, absolutely Johnny on the spot, poking it in. Couldn't have expected that Mahadi would drop it, but you've got to buy a ticket, and then maybe 1 in 100 times you'll win that lottery, and that's what's got Sean Patton the goal. Excellent approach play from the Shots, a little bit of luck. Mahadi, another fumble of a shot from distance. He did the same against Carlisle a few weeks ago when the shot just went through him into the net. This time Sean Patton the grateful beneficiary.
Here Scunthorpe send the ball out to the left. Ryan Hill ducks underneath it in a slightly better position than Danny Whitehall, and it goes into touch, throw into Shots in the right back position. I was about to tell you about a Rochdale goal and saying how well Scunthorpe kept him out in the week, but that goal's been chalked off. Rochdale not having a lot of luck at the moment, but there are 3 other goals in the National League already as Ewing wins the ball back, finds Beeston, well read by Will Nightingale. He's won the ball, pokes it out to Peart. Peart up towards Patton, he can't get there. Oh, lovely first touch from Ross Barrows. Evades the challenge from Gandor, sends it forward. That's cut out by Penny, and now a ball lifted out to the left hand side where Gandor can chase, and he's up against Joe Rowley, who does well. There are 3 early goals in the National League, maybe even 4, all going to the home side. Shots 1, Scunthorpe 0 here. Solihull Moors 1, Hartlepool 0. Altrincham 1, Braintree 0, and Carlisle 1, Yeovil 0. Here's Ollie Ewing on the left side for Scunthorpe. Gets the ball, exchanges passes with Horton, and then Aldershot almost wrestle it back. And Steve, no early indications that Shots are heavy in the legs from the sheer amount of running they put in on Tuesday. That may show later in the game, but they've been buoyed. They were confident from that performance in the recent run, and now buoyed by Patton's early strike. Yeah,
absolutely. I think when you're in a good form, you want to play every day. You've got that energy, that excitement in your legs and in your heart, and yeah, any actual physical fatigue will hopefully be held off for long enough that, not say they're going to have an unassailable lead come 70-75 minutes, but it will carry them through. That momentum, that impetus, that confidence now will carry them through a long way.
Yeah, so Brodie Peart just gave a a silly foul away while Steve was talking, and the opportunity was on there as Peart didn't go with his runner Horton, and Scunthorpe didn't see the pass, but Horton would have been cleared through, admittedly still with a half in front of him, but here Mia Holt's pushing well forward. Hargreaves is just beaten to the ball by Rowley. Whitehall's just caught by Inwood, but Scunthorpe keep possession. And the referee, eventually seeing no obvious advantage to Scunthorpe, does give the free kick. So Danny Whitehall, who we talked about off air and on as being an absolute handful and full of nous, things haven't particularly got his way in the opening minutes, but he's one of those players. He'll batter you away for the whole game, and could still hurt you. Very, very early days, 12 minutes gone. Shots with an early lead. Yet another game at the EBB which is not going to end goalless. And here's a ball chased out to the left-hand side by Alfie Beeston. Just runs onto it, sends it into Horton. He is unmarked. He's going to try a shot, driven up, driven into the area, cleared away, headed back in, headed out by Inwood. And lovely, a little hooked clearance from Hargreaves, but Will Evans runs onto it, slow to turn, and then a poorly directed back pass, but picked up in the end by Boyce. Boyce clips it forward. Will Nightingale again can't win it cleanly, but he makes sure that Whitehall can't. Boyce Clark clears up towards Gandor, but Rowley is Rowley or Rowley, Iron fans, forgive me, it's another one of those either ors, isn't it? He sends it out to the right hand side. He's had a lively start. He's caught the eye a little bit for me. Ball's back in touch on the far side. The Iron have a throw in on the right hand side on the halfway line. I have to say, we expected 280, 300 today. It looks more than that to me, Steve. I think it's crept up to 340, 350. We'll give you that firm number in the second half, probably midway through. Free kick for Scunthorpe, only just in the Aldershot half on the right hand side. Played through Evans out to Horton, back in the side today. And Peart plays the ball, he thinks, off of Beeston, but didn't get any contact from Beeston. Horton takes the throw, and Beeston sends it up to Scunthorpe. The ball's in touch. This time some of the Shots fans in the North Stand not happy that the throw's been given to Scunthorpe, but no complaints from the players. Morecambe 1, Eastleigh 0 as well. So 5 teams in the National League winning 1-0 at home. Here's Inwood breaking away on the transition, feeds the ball to Haddy Gandor. Gandor now inside to Hargreaves. Quickly, Scunny dropped back into her out possession shape. Ball played forward, is cut out brilliantly by Brandon Horton as it looked like Peart might get in. And now Cal Roberts might get in on the right hand side of the penalty area. Well read, Will Nightingale. Brilliant defensive work. There's one player, Steve, you don't want to leave going 1-1 against Will Nightingale. It's Cal Roberts. Well read, Will Nightingale. Excellent start to the game. From the Shots number 20.
He has, he started superbly, but even 2-on-1, you'd back Cal Roberts quite often, but that in that instance, Will Nightingale had a little bit too much, but Scunthorpe come again.
Played short to Ewing, he's inside the penalty area, nice little smart step, sends it across, cleared away off the line. Not sure if it was Hill or Nightingale, but one of them did clear it away. The ball's in touch again, and Scunthorpe showing a real intensity to get back level in this game. A reminder that the Shots took the lead in the 8th minute. Sean Patton lethal from a yard and a half after Mahadi had spilt a relatively straightforward Haddy Gandor shot. It's not your great save and parry and the striker, it's a spill.
Absolutely.
We agreed on
undoubtedly,
that.
yeah. Gandor should not have scored from the edge of the penalty area with the pace and the accuracy of that shot. It wasn't quite a back pass, but it was definitely and particularly the goalkeeper of Mahadi's quality as well. But as I said, he has spilled one against Carlisle recently as well.
Cal Roberts holding up inside the penalty area, but he's been dispossessed. Gandor's won it. Gandor poking it out to the right hand side to Ryan Hill. He's got Horton chasing him, sends it inside to Patton. Can Patton outwit Boyce? He does. And it's in off the post! Sean Patton doubles Aldershot Town's lead. His 4th goal for the Shots, his 3rd in 4 days. after the winning goal at Hewish Park in the week. Terrific burst forward from Ryan Hill. Pan receiving the ball, stepping round Boyce, shooting low and in off the post. No chance really for the goalkeeper when you hit the inside of the post. The shots have doubled their lead. 16 minutes gone. Aldershot Town 2, Scunthorpe United 0.
Lethal counter-attack from Aldershot Town. And if anyone has watched Scunthorpe against Boston last week, Boston scored this goal a couple of times, and Aldershot Town have taken one out of that copybook. Lethal on the counter-attack, Scunthorpe being far too open in midfield. Excellent choice and weight and timing of pass from Ryan Hill, and then Sean Patton, not quite the freedom of the penalty area, but is able to use his quality, turn inside and pick his spot in off that far post. Absolutely superb, lightning quick start from Aldershot Town, 2 up in a little over a quarter of an hour. Nothing's decided yet, but Aldershot Town's good form seems set to continue.
Certainly made a cracking start today. A couple of people have messaged. We'll give you shout outs as and when we can. I've got a message from somebody that's listening in Sunnyvale, Florida, enjoying the sunshine and the football. Come on, you shots. The only problem I've got, I don't have your number in my phone, so I don't know who you are. But good afternoon or good morning to you. I'm sure it will be in Florida.
Yeah,
Florida.
10 at 10:15 in the morning, I think.
Yeah. Former Shots manager Tommy Widrington left Eastbourne in the week. They are now playing at home to Torquay and 1-0 up in that one. Aldershot here 2-0 up as Ryan Hill just gets that one slightly wrong, ends up in touch, taken quickly by Beeston. The goals coming in the 8th and the 16th minute, both from Sean Patton. He had a bit of work to do on this one, but brilliant. They talk a lot about assists, but I've got to say to you, a secondary assist from Hadi Gandor was superb. He'll be credited with the assist, of course, for the first goal as well. And I think he is Aldershot Town's second most assister this season after Josh Barrett. Peart plays the ball onto himself and into touch and then complains that it's not his throw. Referee is going to book him. Yeah, so interestingly, delay in the restart, kicking the ball away, Brodie Peart, silly and booked for it, and rightly so. On Tuesday night, a Yeovil player in the first 20 minutes inexplicably kicked the ball 20 yards away and the referee ignored it. And all anybody wants, Scunny fans, Shots fans, just give us consistency. I think the fact that it was 0-0 then, and perhaps the fact that it's 2-0 Aldershot now might be what's cost Peart the yellow card.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was silly. And yeah, I think Hadi Gandor now has 4 assists, which does put him second in that particular category.
I think he might claim more than that. There's a lovely touch around the corner from Peart. Hargreaves sends the cross in. It's over everybody, and Barrows should get there first. No, Henry does just get there just in front of him. To Gandor. Gandor on the right side. Will he get a shot in? He does. Ooh, curls nicely, dips nicely, but not enough. Good effort from Hadi Gandor. 2 assists this afternoon. Pulling the trigger himself, as we love to see him do more often, Steve. But 20 minutes gone, Shots 2, Scunny 0.
There's a really, really good, pleasing, exciting intensity and tempo to Aldershot Town's play. And I think maybe they do realise that Scunthorpe are susceptible on the counter, that there is space to be exploited in their final third. And at the moment, Aldershot Town are really enjoying themselves.
Good leap from Meerholtz, but he can only head it down into the path of Danny Whitehall, who's quite deep. He arrives again on Ewing, can't win it, but then Inwood does win it. And that's a very cynical foul there from Zane Westbrook, which I'm sure is going to... Yeah, Inwood nicked the ball and was getting away, and it was one of those take one for the Team Yellows. I don't think Aldershot were clean through, were they? They were just going to be in space on the left side. But Westbrook shown a yellow, and the referee's had his cards out twice in a minute. Yeah,
and rightly so. I think you're absolutely right. Westbrook knew exactly what he was doing. I think brilliant from Inwood to win the ball and then just stride clear through midfield over the halfway line. And I think if Westbrook hadn't committed that foul, inward was making great strides to, if not the penalty area, certainly into the Scunthorpe final third.
Here's Penny sending the ball in. Clever play from Whitehall, who just eases into the back of Brodie Peart, ensures it goes over their heads and everybody else is into touch. Throw into Scunthorpe. I can now confirm that it's Ian Barnett, whose number I didn't have. Sorry, Ian. Listening from Florida. And one or two other mentions we'll get to in time. Here's Westbrook sending the ball out to the left, chased by Cal Roberts, sent back to goal by Ryan Hill, and then cleared forward by Boyce Clark. Not the best of clearances, picked up by Joe Rowley on the in the centre circle. He goes back to Boyce, who's had the indignity really of Patton just receiving the ball right in front of him and just literally going past him, shifting it one side, going past him, and never really was in the race, was he? No,
he wasn't. Excellent. The way Aldershot Town were attacking, the momentum was with the attacking side, and maybe I did Patton a little bit discredit. I said he had almost the freedom of the Scunny penalty area, but did really well.
Here's Ewing, definitely breaking from the left centre again out to Horton. He's going to try an early ball in, and Meerholtz gets there first and clears it behind the goal onto the East Bank roof. And I think, Steve, Scunny's first corner of the game coming halfway through the first half.
Yep, first corner exactly halfway through. Excellent defensive play from Jed. Westbrook was breaking into the penalty area and was set for a tap-in until Aldershot Town's new signing interjected.
I think it's Ollie Ewing taking the corner to the far post. In fact, it's over the bar. Don't know if there's a little bit of breeze out there. There can't be much. I think he's just hit that wrong. He's tried to lift it into the back post, but I don't think it even landed on the netting of the goal, did it? It was a good 4 or 5 yards behind.
Yeah, and his quality on the ball is better than that. I think you can't blame the elements. There is a little bit of breeze around the Ebb Stadium. The flag at the High Street end, at the Mike Pusey community stand end, is fluttering, and it's fluttering towards the East Bank, but not with that sort of ferocity.
Richard Adams says great game, but please could you sort the commentary out? Somebody's talking over me. I don't know whether it might just be yourself. Here's Patton battling away with Evans, keeps the ball in, sends it in. Henry's got it 7-8 yards out, tries a little pot shot, tiny little gap really, potentially through Andrew Boyce's legs. It's another effort on goal, blocked. Henry very, very good usually at seeing the pictures with the movement, but in truth there wasn't movement. Boyce was just stood in front of him, and he maybe lifted a leg. He'd still have to beat Mahadi as well. He's been beaten twice in these opening 23.5 minutes. Shots to Scunthorpe 0. Nightingale can't win it the first time, but then calmly sends it out to Brodie Peart, who's a show and go down the right hand side. Then he looks to knock it past Brandon Horton, and he needed a bit more purchase on that one. Horton's a bit too long in the tooth for that, and he does play it off of Peart, and it is a Scunthorpe throw for Horton, even though Peart doesn't like it. And the assistant referee getting a bit of stick. Aldershot have won it from the throw anyway, and then Ryan Hill is fouled from behind by Ewing. Solihull Moors have doubled their lead against Hartlepool. Nobody else has mentioned any issues with the commentary, Richard. Hopefully it is just yourself. David Amos said he's listening at home today. Cracking start for the shots, and Paul Bertie Reynolds is listening, says he's sorry he can't be here with the strays today. The stray shots coming from around the country and around the world collectively to a home game, as many of them that could. Good crowd, great atmosphere here at the EBB. Been buoyed by that cracking start for the shots. You've scored twice. We're 25 minutes in. Sean Patton got both goals, almost merged him into Charlie Warren there. And here's Henry with the ball in. That's cleared easily enough away by Scunthorpe. Horton's got it back to goal, puts it into touch. Aldershot will have another throw, and Henry shakes his head a bit ruefully, because I think a couple of little things he's wanted to do or tried to do so far haven't come off. It's difficult. We're looking at a lot of these players really played in this season. Henry's season's been stop and start. This possibly only the second time all season he's gone back-to-back starts, I think. Aldershot take the throw short from inward to Ryan Hill. In it comes, cleared away. by the first or second defender, and then Cal Roberts is fouled, and Callum, is it Penny?
Yeah, it was Matt Penny.
Matt Penny. Cal Roberts had outwitted him. Penny took one for the team. Penny gets a yellow, and I have to say, of the 3 yellows given so far, Pert might consider himself a bit unlucky, but it was just probably stupid. And the other 2, you absolute stonewall yellows.
Yeah, and I would not want to be Matt Penny on a yellow card up against someone like Cal Roberts for the remaining hour plus.
Yeah, here's a ball into the area. Oh, it's taken down brilliantly by Westbrook. Oh my word! What a save, Kanaya Boyce Clark. Westbrook receives the pinpoint pass, 8 yards out, fires it quickly, and somehow, someway, Boyce Clark has deflected that up and behind. It should be 2-1. It remains 2-0. Scunthorpe take the corner short to Rowley. He sends in the cross to the far post. It's headed across goal and caught by Boyce Clark. 27 minutes gone. Aldershot 2, Scunthorpe 0. And Steve Gibbs, it would be and should be 2-1 but for Boyce Clark.
It really should. His stock continues to rise in the Aldershot town goal. That Westbrook composure all afternoon. He was going to slot that one in for 2-1, but Boyce Clark, quick off his line, made himself big, somehow got enough purchase on the ball to deflect it over the bar as well. Superb save.
Yeah, it should have been a goal for Westbrook, and it should have been an assist for Rowley. There's a lovely back heel from Westbrook into the path of Barrows, tries a shot from distance, and that is saved again, low down, away to his right by Boyce Clark. Really good effort from distance. I think he did as much as he possibly could with it there. And Boyce Clark again is equal to it, twice in a minute, Steve.
Yeah, not as much of a spectacular save as the first one, but nonetheless absolutely vital. It seemed to be creeping in almost in instalments into that bottom corner, and Boyce Clark got down to tip it behind. But another Scunthorpe corner down their left-hand side in front of the East Bank.
In it comes towards the far post. It's headed away by Hadi Gandor. Henry gets ahead on it as well, and a bit of a buffeting, but no foul given. The ball goes behind for another Scunthorpe corner, and Aldershot coming under some pressure here, as you'd expect them to. Whatever the game plan was at the start of the game for Scunthorpe, they're 2-0 down. They know exactly what they need to do, get a goal back as soon as possible. That one's cleared away by Brodie Peart, held up by Henry, who gets his pass wrong for Patton. It was tight. He was the only player he had to aim for. Scunthorpe then, through Barrows, the deepest player, sends it out to the left, looking for Will Evans, who slowly jogs back. Remind me and our listeners who just had that second effort there in the minute that Boyce Clark saved.
I was going to ask you.
I'd written down Barrows, and now I'm questioning it. I said it in commentary, but
yeah, I'm not.
We'll look on the Twitter.
I will consult the social media.
York 2, Halifax 0. So at the top end, York having it their way. Here's Whitehall. He's going to get a shot. They're offside. The ball's ended up incredibly. If you're looking for an omen, Whitehall's just hooked the ball. It's hit the inside of one post, gone across the goal and hit the inside of the other post. It would have been ruled out anyway, but in terms of the first 29 and a half minutes, if Scunthorpe rode their luck at times against a really good Rochdale side on Tuesday night, they have had 0 go their way in this opening half an hour. Shots have had 3 efforts, scored 2 of them, and Scunthorpe have had a couple of beauties, well saved by Boyce Clark, and now one that wouldn't have counted hitting both posts.
Yeah, you've got to earn your luck though.
On chances, it's 3 each, and Aldershot lead 2-0. Whether you count that one probably as a chance, you probably don't technically because it was offside.
No, because it was offside. The play was halted before the shot was made. But yeah, Scunthorpe have showed sporadically what they're capable of, but for me, they've not clicked yet going forwards.
Yeah, we know. We talked a lot about Cal Roberts, and we know he's got a moment or moments in him. One of the best players for me, one of the top 3, probably 4 players in the National League. You do a lot of looking at the Y Scout site, and I don't know if his metrics, measure up with that. But an outstanding player, like we said, that should be playing probably in the Football League. but for kind of repeat injury issues over 2 or 3 years. Andy Butler might have misread the bounce down off the roof there.
And took one to the side of the face.
And he turned round and apologised for it. Tommy Widdington put his hand out to try and get a ball that was bouncing around the touchline and got yellow carded or sent off. Well, I can't remember which one it was for it. It was a good battle between Hill and Beeston. And you can tell from the reaction of the home faithful that the home faithful didn't agree with that. I thought it was a tight call for the ref. They were bit of each on each other, weren't they? And the referee obviously thought Hill, perhaps more so the perpetrator there. Here's Scunthorpe then, 32nd minute, playing the ball through the middle to Cal Roberts, and that's where you want to see him get the ball, on the halfway line, Steve, if you're an Aldershot fan. Scunthorpe want to see him ghosting onto the ball like he did once already. There's a ball over the top from Beeston. That's too straight and too long. It'll go through to Boyce Clark. I don't think Boyce Clark, as impressive as he's been in many ways since he came here, I don't think he's had a game start quite like this before, where he's probably only had 2 efforts at him and they've both been very, very good, and he's saved them both. Here's Hargreaves, a ball forward. Henry leaves it for Peart, who's not offside. Peart's into the area and he scores! James Henry was in an offside position, but he left it. Peart wasn't, ran onto it, and from a narrow angle drills it low past Rory Mahadi, who cannot believe his opening 33 minutes today. 33 the minutes, 3 the magic number for the shots as Peart scores for the shots at the EBB. Aldershot Town 3, Scunthorpe United 0.
Excellent refereeing, excellent awareness from James Henry, who knew he was offside and left it and allowed Sean Peart to run on. Brodie Peart, sorry, and then he still had a lot to do. It was a tight angle, but he slotted it through the legs of Rory Mahadi, cool as you like, showing experience beyond his years, calmness beyond his years. And Dave Smalley, the Shots goalkeeping coach, just giving a thumbs up to the assistant on this near side, saying, well played, because you didn't raise your flag too early. You waited to see what James Henry was going to do. He left it. Brodie Peart did the rest. Shots 3-0. I won't say cruising yet, but
no,
what a start.
Don't ever do that.
Aldershot Town don't cruise, but what a start nonetheless.
Yeah, they've had a terrific first 35 minutes. And Scunthorpe in their couple of moments haven't had a finish, but here's Cal Roberts running to the edge of the area, and the referee spotted something off the ball and given a foul for that. I'm not sure what it was. Rochdale have taken the lead through Kyle Gordon in their game this afternoon. The first goal they scored earlier in the game had been ruled out. York are 2-0 up. Just down the road, Farnborough, at home on the same day as Aldershot in the National League South, are losing 4-0 at home to Enfield Town, who are in the bottom 4 with them, and the wheels are very much off. Alex Hunt's got one of those York goals. Here's the ball played up to Whitehall, and a little nudge in the back from Nightingale, who kicks the ball away, and if the referee wanted to be pedantic, could give him a yellow card because he kicked the ball away well after the whistle. He doesn't, but he points at him, and I think he says, don't try that again.
Yeah, I think Will was trying to protest that he'd already committed to it, or he didn't hear the whistle or something, but yeah, Roberts is in.
He's down the right hand side on the edge of the penalty area. He's cutting into it now, tries a low drilled shot. It's cleared away off his line by Will Nightingale, who's fouled as he does so by Danny Whitehall. And so far this afternoon, and let's just reiterate, only 35 minutes gone, but Steve, the perfect afternoon for shots. 4 efforts, 3 have gone in. At the other end, Scunthorpe have created 3, and Boyce Clark's made 2 good saves, and he's really played his part in the fact that Aldershot have a 3-goal lead at this stage.
Absolutely, yeah. I think those, particularly that one save from Westbrook, will feel like, to him, like a striker scoring a goal, because everybody in this stadium, whether whether a Scunthorpe fan and Aldershot fan would have thought, well, this is going to be 2-1 and Scunthorpe are back in it. And then within 5 minutes, Shots have made it 3-0. And that has put a much different perspective on the game for both teams, for both sets of supporters. 2-1 and the momentum with Scunthorpe, suddenly that's a much different afternoon for Aldershot Town than them being 3-0 up and, I wanted to say cruising, I won't say, but in a 3-0 position.
Yeah, here's Hill down the right side, tries a ball through, that's well cut out by Ollie Ewing, and then Scunthorpe clear it forward, and Nightingale outmanoeuvres Beeston. When occasionally Nightingale's coming out to the right side to come up against Beeston, when he does that, Inwood then goes against Whitehall. Here's Ewing getting the ball, played it back to Horton. Horton plays it back to Evans, who has to scamper back. He plays it across to Mahadi. Nervous moment. Not really why Mahadi wanted it, but equally you never play it back right directly at your own goal in case it gets the bobble. Aldershot have the ball with Gandor. Henry out to Matt Penny on the left side. Can he get across in? Yes, he can. Half cleared by Evans, only to Ryan Hill. He's into the penalty area, and it's a penalty. Ryan Hill rode the challenge. He didn't actually even go to ground, but the referee saw the contact and gave it. Now, I think it's the sort of penalty, Steve, I'm going to say throughout the season, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. And a referee giving a side a penalty at 3-0 is what's staggering me. Mahadi has just come over to the touchline, presumably to ask a question about who takes the penalties and where do they tend to go. Well, Ryan Hill takes them. He's taken them all season, and so far he's dispatched them all. But Aldershot Town, frankly, at the moment, are in dreamland. We're in the 39th minute.
Dave Smalley can't watch.
They are 3-0 up. Dave Smalley's doing the old Manchester United manager thing. Referee blows his whistle, and Ryan Hill will step up against Rory Mahadi. And he puts it over the bar. Maybe too much adrenaline there from Ryan Hill. First time he's missed the target from the spot all season. And Steve, of course Aldershot would like the match pretty much put to bed, but if there's ever a time that you might get away with missing a penalty, it's in a game where you're 3-0 up.
Yeah.
I mean, Scunthorpe will give them renewed hope, of course.
It will, yes. I think at 4-0 it's a long, long way back, even, stupid thing to say, even more than 3-0, but yeah, not Ryan Hill's usual quality from the spot, but I would say I think it was a little bit of a soft penalty as well.
I wonder if that was in his mind. Here's Gandor on the left. Plays it to Penny. Penny's going to send in a cross now. It's headed up in the air by Boyce. A little double ricochet and then volleyed forward by Beeston. And Whitehall here might get there in advance of Inwood. He doesn't, but he plays the ball to Cal Roberts, who treads on the ball. I think he wanted it in front of him. But in any case, Aldershot coming away with it. And Gandor's battling away with Rowley. Scunthorpe through Barrows, put it into touch. But in that attack, you almost see how shell-shocked Scunthorpe are at being 3-0 down, because as Whitehall moved on to it, he had clear ground ahead of Inwood.
Yeah.
Inwood, he didn't have the best first touch, and then he got the pass weight wrong.
Yeah, and then Roberts treads on it, as you say. I think for the two main attacking threats from Scunthorpe, two of the best, most prolific attacking players in the National League, that maybe shows perhaps the lack of confidence with which they're playing, the little bit of doubt that is starting to seed into their minds, because for the second Saturday in a row they're being outclassed, comprehensively beaten by a team where they're a whole half division and more above in the table, or have been in recent memory.
I've got to just interject here. They were well beaten last week, but they weren't outclassed. They actually had more efforts on goal than Boston. It was a bit of a freak game. Boston obviously found a lot of holes in their defence, as you rightly say.
They were.
I just wanted to be fair to the Iron fans listening in. I know it was an awful day, and they probably felt today the one thing that's comparable is almost everything that's shot is going in. That's the comparison, I think.
Yes, true, but I think the two things that are recurring.
Hang on, they're on the attack, they're in the box. The shot is just dragged wide from Roberts, and now, Steve, you can take your time. In fact, it's got a touch, it's gone beyond for a corner.
Yeah, it's a corner. Cal Roberts, it looked like it was going wide anyway, pulled the shot a little bit wide of that far post, but yeah, the recurring themes from last Saturday and this is that they're authors of their own downfall. They're culpable. In
comes the corner to the far post, through the corridor of uncertainty, misses an attempted punch from Boyce Clark, and 3 or 4 players who all stood from both sides like statues as the ball went straight past them all.
Yeah, that probably should have been another effort on target for Scunthorpe. It seemed ripe there for somebody to just gamble a little bit at the far post and stab it in, or hope that it takes an inadvertent defensive touch into the net, but nobody did, and thus it's still 3-0.
We've had some terrific games here all season, but particularly of late, as Inwood and Beeston compete for the ball down the right hand side. Inwood does well, gets there first and then protects it. We've had the 2-0 down to come back and beat Halifax 3-2, and then the other 2 home games recently. A terrific first half where Wildstone could have scored 3 or 4 against Aldershot, but they bravely kept it out like they've done on those 2 or 3 occasions today, and Aldershot went on to win 4-1. And then the game that fortunately I missed, but a 5-1 home defeat by Solihull, where Solihull had a similar first half to Wildstone but stuck everything away. And here we are with not even half time and 3 goals in a game at the EBB again, but probably for the first time I can remember all season they've all gone Aldershot's way.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right that Aldershot Town have been clinical, but that's the quality, that Aldershot Town have taken their chances and Scunthorpe haven't.
Peart heads on the throw, headed away by Ewing, only as far as Meerholtz. Lovely first touch from him to Ryan Hill, who's fouled by Roberts. Hill won't need a lot of lifting, his mentality will be fine, he's an experienced player, and every penalty taker has to miss at some point. I think what will probably be hurting is the fact that he didn't ask a question of the keeper, or at least the woodwork.
Yeah, I think if a penalty's saved, if you think, when it leaves my foot, I'm happy with the connection, I'm happy with the direction. If the goalkeeper makes a brilliant save, the percentages are sometimes you have to say fair enough.
Henry sends in the free kick. It's headed away by Boyce. He'll do that all day. Hill cushions the header on the clearance, and Henry squares it, and that's a free kick for the foul on James Henry. And referee just thinking about whether or not he'll give anything more. Henry, I think he's going to be able to get up okay without needing treatment. He's certainly caught late there. And the referee, I'm just going to say, I think if he hadn't already shown 3 yellows in this first half, he probably would have booked Nightingale for delaying the restart, and he possibly could have booked Beast in there. But you can't show yellow every time, otherwise you're going to end up showing a smattering of reds, of which he hasn't shown any all season. 16 games across all his leagues he covers, 74 yellows and 0 reds. As we 15 seconds from the end of the first 45, Henry sends the ball in, knocked down by Nightingale, and then shot fired over by Paddy Gandor, who is working like a Trojan, creating goals, but he can't buy one for love nor money. Right on the 45-minute mark, we're going to have 3 added here. We haven't had the plethora of delays that we've had in recent games, notably the one at Tamworth last week, where 2 of the stoppages were for things going on off the pitch, and we had all sorts of delays. I think we finished that one about 5:05 in the end. So 3 added minutes, and 3 so far has been the magic number for the shots this afternoon, going 3-0 up in the 33rd minute. Here's Callum Roberts, bit of space on the right hand side, bodies into the box, comes back on his left foot, then back onto his right, sends in a decent looking cross, hooked down by Danny Whitehall, cleared away by Nightingale, but only comes out to Horton. Horton sends it in, and Boyce Clark dives on it just to the right of his goal. If he hadn't have done it, would have probably rustled the side netting. And Aldershot Town, Steve, despite missing an opportunity to go 4-0 up, have just 2 minutes of football to negotiate without conceding to go in with a very, very potent first half lead.
Yeah, it's not been perfect for Aldershot Town, and certainly Scunthorpe have sporadically shown potential for their own attacking threats, but I think Scunthorpe have been lacking in both final thirds. They have been culpable for making Aldershot Town's lead so commanding, and they've not taken advantage of any half chances that they've had of their own.
Aldershot have given it away on the halfway line, and Scunthorpe now looking to build and attack. Good hold up play from Whitehall, who's getting a buffeting from Inwood. Oh, and then a great steal by James Henry off of Ollie Ewing, and the ball played out to Ryan Hill, who could have gone surging forward but decided to keep possession. Here Henry receives the ball, he gets another push in the back from Ewing, but Aldershot just playing it around, and now Hill sends it inside to Henry, who's now in space. He lifts the ball out to the left side, picked up by Haddy Gandel. Excellent first touch. He can run at Barrows now. He's into the penalty area, sends it in. That's blocked, and it will fall down nicely for Zane Westbrook. He's going to be quickly shut down by Haddy Gandel. Sends it forward. Whitehall, quite rightly, wins a free kick for a little bit of holding or pushing from Sam Inwood. And might be the first free kick he's won, I'm not sure. I can't recall any others. Scunthorpe have a free kick just inside their own half, and I guess the positive they'll be thinking about at half time is it could have been all over at 4-0. It's still 3. If Aldershot can score 3 goals in a half, so can we, and that's how the Iron have got to look at it.
Yeah, and they do have the attacking prowess to do that.
Here's Rowley jumping onto a clearance from Inwood, sends it back to Evans. Evans exchanges passes with Horton, and then a better pass, but Rowley has to go back to Boyce Clark. There is the half-time whistle, and well, just about everything has gone Aldershot Town's way, apart from that penalty missed by the skipper Ryan Hill. But 2 goals from Charlie Patton and 1 from Brodie Peart see them 3-0 up here against Scunthorpe United at half time. Steve Gibbs.
Nearly perfect first half for Aldershot Town. You'd think they've gone a long way to securing another vital 3 points in this extended run of home games against teams in the top 8. But Aldershot Town at the moment are playing like a team in the top 8. They're playing like a team pushing for the playoffs. They're not quite there yet, but that's the quality front to back. Kanaya Boyce Clark rightly taking the plaudits for a really vital save that will feel to him as good as a goal. Aldershot Town not done and dusted yet, but that was an excellent, really pleasing, domineering, high tempo, committed, high quality first half from Aldershot Town. Again, another one to follow an excellent 90 minutes at Yeovil last Tuesday.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing out there today is a team stepping forward with confidence and belief and no degree of complacency. John Coleman said he's going to remind them of that Solihull 5-1 home defeat in the middle of this good run that's kind of shaping towards potentially an 8th win in 11 or 12 matches now. And he said he's going to remind them of it every single week, and he's done a superb job with that, because I think they've relished this afternoon. That's what they've done. They said that I'm sorry, I've been completely thrown out by some people just shouting around me. He talked about how, you know, they've done very, very well away from home, and they really wanted to sort of show that form to the EBB stadium this afternoon, and certainly they've done so in that first half.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the away form has been better, and it's a phrase that's as old as us two probably. Fortress Ebb Stadium. It hasn't been that for too long now, for quite a few seasons, and it needs to go back to the good old days. It's far too easy to say that and pinpoint when exactly that was, but when any team feared coming here, when they knew that even if they took 3 points, they would leave relieved and pleased and knowing that they'd been in a real 90-minute plus battle. That Aldershot Town, whatever the incarnation of Aldershot Town, did not lay down and die. They didn't give any team, whether they were runaway leaders at the top of the division or fellow team in a relegation scrap. You couldn't get anything for free here, and that there are signs now that John Coleman is restoring that sort of, not impregnability, but that sort of steel in Aldershot Town at home, and that, as much as anything, is really pleasing. That particularly in this run of home games against teams in the top 8, where you've got York and Carlisle and Boreham Wood to come here, and Southend when that's rearranged in the next few weeks, that none of those games will be easy, but also now all of those teams will know that coming here is not a gimme 3 points, that they will have to fight and be at their best to get something. And that, I think, as much as anything else, is testament to what John Coleman has brought to the club and has instilled in that belief and spirit, which, yes, it was there sporadically, it was there in a way under previous managers, but it's really coming together as a whole and something that's greater than the sum of its parts under John Coleman, and you have to congratulate him and thank him for that.
That's Steve Gibbs.
And I say all that, and it's only half time, and if Scunthorpe get back into this, that will look very stupid, everything I've said, but I think it's greater than a 45 minutes, whatever happens in the second half, it still holds true.
Drew Walters, who often sits holding that microphone that you've got, says James Henry getting back to fitness offers us creativity, a really big plus, and he knows just how to find space on the pitch, doesn't he? He plays very, very intelligently. A word too for Hadi Gandor, who has been really playing week in, week out, and really worth his place in the team. Let's have a quick look at the half-time scores elsewhere then. Altrincham 1, Braintree 0. Both those sides very much in the relegation scrap. Boreham Wood 0, Forest Green 0, very much at the other end. Boston 0, Tamworth 0. Their fourth meeting, I think, this year. Brackley 0, Southend 0. These are all half-times. Carlisle 3, Yeovil 0. Feeney, Armstrong and Galvin, as Carlisle are finding, as Aldershot did, that Yeovil are a little bit out of form at the moment. Morecambe 1, Eastleigh 0. Is there faint hope still for Morecambe? Rochdale 2, Woking 0. So the Dale have got themselves a second goal through Manny Diasaruwe to add to the one from Kyle Gordon. Solihull Moors 2, Hartlepool 2. It was 2-0 with 5 minutes to go until half-time. Then Reed and Miley scored. So that's a cracker as well. 2-2 there. 0-0 between Sutton and Wealdstone. And 3-0 to York against Halifax. Stones, Hunt and Pearce. And if I said to you, Steve, have a guess at 3 scorers, they're the 3 you'd have probably gone for. Okay, we're all finished here, other than a half-time report to radio. We'll do that shortly.
Over to James. Come on, James, right on the line. Decent runner. Good. Okay, the £1,000 saved. Still get some beer money. Back to Brad. Good technique. Okay, let's see if James can get on top of the mark. Give a little cheer. Got some mates in his back there. Last go. Here's Brad, playing for £10. Well, he gave us a little trip, so that was fun. Well done, Brad. And finally, James. Playing for the Warriors again.
We were going to say they'd had almost the complete first half, Robin, but they haven't. They managed to miss a penalty. Ryan Hill, the skipper, could have put the shots 4-0 up after 39 minutes and in absolute dreamland. They're pretty much in it anyway, thanks to 2 early strikes from that man that we spoke to in the week, Sean Patton. The first one was fortuitous. Gandor struck from the edge of the box, a relatively straightforward save, you think, from Mahadi, but it wasn't. He spilt it and Patton was on the spot to tap home from 2 yards. 8 minutes later, and Hadi Gandor again involved, sweeping counter-attack from the shots. Hill played the ball into Patton. He rounded Andrew Boyce as if he was the QE2 and slotted low inside the post to make it 2-0. If that wasn't good enough, after 33 minutes, I beg your pardon, James Henry moved on to an attack down the right. He didn't touch the ball, crucially, because he was offside, but the next nearest player was Brodie Peart. He burst onto it, narrowed the angle and shot low past Mahadi. After that penalty for a foul on Hill, missed by Hill. But Aldershot Town in dreamland here at the EBB. They started the day in 14th place. They're playing at home to Scunthorpe, who are 5th, and they're 3-0 up at half-time.
Before the trophy is returned at the end of this month. The Shots Away Travel Group will be running in coach to our forthcoming away games at Braintree, Forest Green and our tour of duty fixture at Morecambe. For the Braintree game, the coach leaves the stadium at 3:30, with the price being £32 for members and £35 for non-members. For Forest Green, we'll leave at 11 o'clock, with the charge being £27 and £30. And for Morecambe, it's an early departure at 7 a.m, with a fare being £52 and £55. To book a place on any of these trips, please email the Shots Away Travel Group at gmail.com.
I thought it looked like him, but now I'm totally sure. He walked past just as Ryan blames the penalty out of the way. Maybe can we sub Barney on the special teams?
He used to take pens, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, he did, didn't
He took everything within about 40 yards.
Yeah. I'll see if I can get him up here for a chat now.
Yeah.
Give it a couple of minutes.
Yeah, no, I know that.
I think random like Facebook or something I've got him on.
Yeah, no. I think he got screwed over a little bit.
Well, rugby, that's the thing about rugby. I've seen, I remember one game where Scotland were about 26-0 up and they lost the game.
very early, that. Maybe not. Maybe I'll leave Barney till the end.
Denton's coming on by the looks of it.
Graham, how are you, mate?
You're right.
Afternoon, Graham?
Steve, you're right. See you.
I am after that first half.
Good.
We're already thinking about local combats, because that's how we think, don't we? Looking forward to it. Getting Graham to jump on the commentary.
Yeah.
He's still never had a win. Oh, was he not?
I'll give him this one.
Okay, our teams are out. That felt like the quickest half time ever to me, but I'm guessing it would have been the normal length of time. We were joined now by the officials as well. The substitutes that have been warming up disappear. And we're going to see a double substitution for Scunthorpe. I can only think that, none of the goals were from set pieces. They were all from open play, weren't they? Last week, a lot of I think the first 3 goals they conceded at Boston were all from set pieces. But
yeah, there's certainly a couple of them.
Boyce and Evans are still out there. Let's see if we can work out who has gone off.
Well, Tyler Denton is coming on.
Yeah, it might be.
He's a left-sided.
It might well be Brandon Horton that's gone off.
He is indeed coming on for
back.
Brandon Horton, so that'll be a straight swap at left back. And the number 14, Carlton Ubezionu, a South African striker or winger.
Yep, Ubezionu, that's it. I'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll see. Can't quite work out yet who he's replacing, but that will clearly be an attacking change.
It's not Ollie Ewing, is it? I can't see Ollie Ewing out there.
Yeah,
I can't see his fair
Number
hair. It is
17,
indeed.
Ollie Ewing.
Yeah, there we go. So they're going to give it a good go.
Yeah, and presumably that will mean he had been playing in the kind of more withdrawn of the 2 midfield roles, so that'll be Alfie Beeston will drop back into maybe a more usual central midfield role, and the lesser spotted Tristan Abrahams
change
is making an appearance for Aldershot Town.
Coming on for Brodie Peart.
Tristan Abrahams. And for Scunthorpe United, replacing number 3, Brandon Horton, and number 17, Oliver Ewing, and number 14, Carlton Ubezionu, and 33, Tyler Denton.
A couple of things we need to find out from today. I'll run through the full sides in a minute. The absence of Ollie Scott. We don't know whether that's just a rest or whether he's tweaked something. And Brodie Peart probably wasn't going to last the 90. Is there an element of let's go with fresh legs from the start, from the off, with Tristan Abrahams, who will be champing at the bit for another chance after being out with injury?
You would hope so, yeah.
And a lack of preference to pick him in the team.
Yeah, you would hope so. You were thinking that Tristan's Aldershot Town career was pretty much fizzling out.
Throw in from Aldershot, cleared away as far as Matt Penny, and then a good foot in from Mia Holtz, and then Hargreaves caught, and Aldershot will have a free kick 25, 28 yards out central. Hargreaves shapes to take it quickly, but then shows quite rightly that there is no need at any point in this second half for Aldershot to rush anything while they have a 3-goal cushion. Henry and Hill are there. Surely they're going to try and clip something over that back line. I think it looks a little too far out. I mean, I wouldn't put it past JB if he was out there having a pop from there.
Yeah, Josh Barrett would fancy this, absolutely, but no. I think the way they're shaping up, Brian Hill's probably going to feed it out to James Henry on the right side, or maybe Henry's a decoy because he's drawn a Scunthorpe player out of the wall.
Yeah, he does run up, Henry, sends it in, it's flicked on by a Scunthorpe player, held up, no, an offside is given against Sam Inwood or somebody, most likely Inwood, as he was the one that brought the ball down. It'll be a free kick to Scunthorpe. So The shots now line up as follows: Boyce Clark in goal, Matt Penny at left back on a yellow card, Inwood, Nightingale and Hill. Hargreaves and Meerholtz holding the midfield, Henry slotting nicely in front of them, and now it's Tristan Abrahams on the right hand side, Sean Patton down the middle and Hadi Gandor on the left. Here's Hargreaves turning, looks for a forward run from someone. There isn't really anybody there, he has to hold it and come back the other way. Now he goes back to Ryan Hill. Important for Aldershot that they keep their foot on the gas, Steve, in this second half. I don't think for 1 minute it would have even entered John Coleman's head, let alone his team talk, to try and hold on from here. It's not his way, it's not the Aldershot way, and they'll be hell-bent on getting a fourth, that whatever happens at the other end of the pitch should be enough to see this turn into 3 points for the shots today. Free kick to Scunthorpe. I think it's another offside, taken quickly.
No, I think there was a foul.
Oh, it was a foul, was it? Will Evans is over it. He plays it back to Rory Mahadi, who it's fair to say will have had better halves. I think he's had some pretty rave reviews in his short time at Scunthorpe.
Both at Scunthorpe and the Leeds United Academy. A very, very highly rated goalkeeper. But yeah, a couple of moments in recent weeks, not his best.
That's Steve Gibbs, I'm Rob Worrell, and you are either listening to BBC Surrey online or the BBC Sport app. There's a good ball through the middle. Westbrook's in the penalty area, saved again, and now it must be finished. And it is by Danny Whitehall. 48 and a half minutes gone, and Scunthorpe's luck in front of goal had to change. Boyce Clark again making the save from Westbrook, but Danny Whitehall on hand to tap home pretty much into the empty net, and Scunthorpe have got exactly what they would want, 3-0 down at half time, and that's a goal inside the first 4 minutes of the second half. Aldershot Town 3, Scunthorpe United 1.
Yeah, excellent start to the second half for Scunthorpe, exactly what they would have wanted. The longer the game went on at 3-0, the less chance they've got of getting back into this, but now momentum for them, impetus, confidence, and perhaps a few seeds of doubt in Aldershot Town minds, but certainly you're absolutely right about their mentality, what their mentality needs to be in this second half, and it is front foot, positive, not looking to shut up shop.
Shots 3, Scunthorpe 1, and Aldershot once again crank up the average of the goals per game here at the EBB. When I last looked, it was pretty close to 4. That's a very late challenge from Danny Whitehall on Will Nightingale. Certainly going to be at least a yellow, and the referee just first of all making sure that Will Nightingale, it's not Will Nightingale actually, it's Cam Hargreaves. Now the referee's having a word here, and it's yellow for Danny Whitehall, and it's for me it's quite a strong yellow as well, Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, it was over on the far side. I couldn't really see exactly the detail of the tackle, but it was definitely heavy. Cam Hargreaves is not the sort of player to feign any contact or feign injury, and yeah, he's a physical customer, is Whitehall, and he's got his goal, but I think he will be cutting a bit of a frustrated figure.
Ball, free kick from Aldershot's played over to the left side. Sam Inwood can't quite get contact on it. And yeah, I think anybody, we're human beings, you're thinking they were 3-0 up, it could have been 4, the penalty's missed, now it's 3-1. What could have been a 4-goal lead is currently a 2, and we've still got 40 minutes left. So that's going to be in everybody's heads in the stadium, no matter what their allegiance. Good jump there from Will Nightingale, and well, Whitehall, referee's not given any kick, but Whitehall's holding.
It's a head injury.
Did he?
Well, I think Whitehall is claiming a head injury. It was a robust aerial challenge from Will Nightingale. I think there was a
referee.
Whitehall took a bang to the head, so quite rightly the referee can't take any chances.
And Whitehall was slowly getting to his feet, but the referee pointing out, no, I've stopped it because of a potential head injury. And now the trainer will come on. And to be fair, they don't need to do a lot. Whitehall is just taking on board some refreshment and coming to the side, and they just have to wait 30 seconds now, and I think the referee will start with a good old-fashioned drop ball here, because neither side, they were competing for possession at the time, weren't they? No, he's going to give it to Scunthorpe, but just inside their own half, he's going to give it to Will Evans. Evans sends it straight through. It's cleared up and away by Will Nightingale. Headed back in by Rowley. Hooked up in the air by Sam Inwood. And Ryan Hill now will put his foot through it. Sounds obvious this, Steve, but how Aldershot would dearly love a fourth goal just to get them back feeling where they were earlier in this game. Oh, great work from Inwood there. Coming across and clearing the ball, playing it off Roberts as well, throw into the shots. Aldershot just want to, either through going 15-20 minutes without conceding again or by scoring again, just get back to the 100% kind of feel good that they had in the first half, and the stadium did as well.
Yeah, I think having said that they need to remain on the front foot, maybe a little bit of game management would certainly not go amiss. Just take the sting out of it, not lose their attacking intent certainly, but definitely not do anything stupid, not leave yourself open at the back, and take the opportunities as they present themselves, because they will.
Here's Aldershot on the attack from their own throw. Penny lifts the ball up. Gandor will chase it, and he nips in front of Boyce to get it as well. He's being held off now, and he spins back onto his left foot. Can he get the ball in? He pulls it back to Penny. Oh, Penny's outwitted really well there by Callum Roberts back there defending. Then Inwood wins the header, but he, of all people, sends it straight to Roberts. Tyler Denton knocks the ball into space, and it's well won by Tristan Abrahams, who at the very least, if nothing else, if he wants to get back in favour today, is going to have a really high energy, high work rate second half. He has to win over John Coleman again, and frankly, Steve, he has to win over the Shots fans.
He does, absolutely, yeah. I said it looked like his Aldershot Town career was over, and I then thought, well, I should have qualified that before it had even begun.
Yeah, two goals.
Partly through his own shortcomings, partly through bad luck. He's not got started this season.
Yeah, and partly through some attitude shown to Shots fans, albeit in a Hampshire Cup match. Here's the ball played up to Patton, 1-2, almost gets back through to Hargreaves. He'd made an intelligent run, but Scunthorpe have nicked the ball back. A few more goals to tell you about in the National League. As the ball's played over to this left side, Altrincham 2, Braintree 0. Borehamwood and Forest Green are probably both out the title race now, but Borehamwood are prevailing in that one, 1-0 up. Here's a strong run from Paddy Gandor, tries a ball through the middle, actually hits it straight at Will Evans. Nice idea, but one back by Hargreaves, finds Gandor again. Gandor has got Beeston with him, he's got Barrows with him, and Barrows can't remain patient and jockey him. He goes charging in and gives away a silly foul, and that was one that'll have Andy Butler tearing his hair out, because Scunthorpe were on the verge of getting a bit of momentum back the other way.
They were, yeah, but Scunthorpe were playing it around almost like a training ground rondo, and then Cam Hargreaves went, I'm not having any of that, and he just nipped in and won it back. And again, that's where Scunthorpe, playing it in the wrong areas, being the authors of their own downfall, causing problems for themselves, that was then compounded by Barrow's needless shoulder charge.
Here's James Henry then, stood over this free kick, 20 yards out from goal, right on the left touchline. He's going to send it in right-footed. Oh, and in the last moment, it's prodded wide. I think there's an offside flag as well. Just cheekily sent it in to the near post, and it very nearly found its way all the way in, Steve.
Yeah, I was just expecting a routine delivery into the penalty area, but I'm not James Henry. And he certainly saw something slightly different, or thought, well, let's just try this. I'm not expecting it to go in or to create a chance, but let's ask an unexpected question.
Foul here given against Sean Patton on Will Evans. Sutton United have taken the lead against Wealdstone. It could be a big couple of back-to-back results for Sutton, and in fact they've doubled their lead now against Wealdstone as well. So 2-0 Sutton against Wealdstone. Here's Scunthorpe coming down the left side, ball in. Matt Penny takes no chances, heads it behind, and Steve Gibbs will tell you what corner it is for Scunthorpe. Around about 6, is it? 5,
Number
6?
4, I
Number
think.
4, okay.
I may have missed
one. I think I've got 5 or 6, but first one of the second half. Roberts is sending it into the near post, headed away by Ryan Hill. Comes back to Roberts. Roberts sends it in. Boyce Clark catches, and he wants to do an early Bit of distribution. In the end, he does. He rolls it to Abrahams. The Scunthorpe player's gone down. I think it might be Whitehall. Roberts is asking the assistant referee if he's seen how he's gone down. I don't know if Boyce Clark caught him, but Boyce Clark caught the ball and rushed forward, just purely looking to be able to bowl the ball out quickly.
Yeah, I think there was a coming together. I didn't see it, and I don't think there was anything untoward. I think there was a coming together between Whitehall and Abrahams, but as the players were funneling out of the penalty area behind Boyce Clark, Whitehall went down and there either was contact or Whitehall was alleging contact. He seems absolutely fine again, fortunately able to run off over to this near side and able to rejoin play. But yeah, I don't think he's appealing for anything. I think it was Cal Roberts that was trying to ask the assistant on this near side if there was anything untoward. But yeah, I think Whitehall just talking to the fourth official as well, just saying, pointing to his mouth, maybe signs of contact. But
hands on from Jed Meerholtz there, gives away a foul on Beeston, 15 yards inside Scunthorpe's own half. They take it quickly through Will Evans, brilliantly watched, read and cut out by Will Nightingale, who's now taken on players down the right wing as he tends to do when he drifts out of centre back. Here's Henry, overlapping run from Tristan Abrahams. He sends it into the area, it's half cleared and cleared away again by Scunthorpe, and then good quick movement from Ubazono. Jed Meerholtz then on a good run, and it's very open still this. Nightingale's won that. I wondered if he'd fouled, but the referee right there said no foul. He's got the ball, and here's Inwood sending the ball back to Henry. That's not a good ball. Scunthorpe player Whitehall's pulling him down. I don't know why he would do that, but Penny drifts forward on the left hand side, sends the ball in, cleared up and away by Will Evans, only as far as Meerholtz. Meerholtz looks to play the ball into Henry but can't get that right, and shouts of offside against Ubayozono, but not given. Scunthorpe continue with play. They go back into their own half. Now they drill it forward, cut out by Meerholtz. Patton, remember, we haven't mentioned it since the 16th minute, but he is, and he has been, on a hat-trick since then. How he'd love one more chance. Here's Aldershot sending it out to the left side. Paddy Gandor can go up against Barrows. Takes him on early. Barrows wins it and then limps off the edge of the pitch. Scunthorpe give it away end to end, this as it's going to be. Nobody's trying to hold on to anything, are they? Gandor to the edge of the area, squares it into Henry. Shot from the edge of the area. Oh! Always rising, and unfortunately for Aldershot, always just going a little bit wide as well. In the light drizzle here, as we pass the hour mark, James Henry comes close for maybe the fifth time in 2 games. Hasn't managed to score in those 2, but his side have. They scored twice at Yeovil, 3 times today, and they laid 3-1 in the 61st minute here against 5th place Scunthorpe at the start of the day.
Yeah, it's a much more physical, confrontational, competitive game now. I think Scunthorpe have got the bit between their teeth. Danny Whitehall is playing like a man possessed. I agree with you. I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do with James Henry with the ball a few yards away. They probably had hold
of each other, I think.
I think he was trying to get ahead of Henry, who was shielding the ball from Whitehall, but it was certainly a high challenge. Wrapping his arms around Henry's shoulders and head, but certainly he's got the bit between his teeth, Danny Whitehall, and he's a force to be reckoned with in that sort of mood.
Now, regular listeners will know I don't do at half-time or even halfway through the second half, or even, frankly, with 5 minutes to go, I don't do league tables. I've not looked at league tables, but what I do remember from before today is that if Woking were to lose today and Aldershot were to win, Aldershot would go above Woking, and something that would have only been a distant pipe dream 6 weeks ago, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Both teams were looking at opposite ends of the table. I think Woking were thinking of perhaps an unlikely playoff push, and Aldershot Town were happy with 5th bottom. That seemed a distance away as well, but
I think Scunthorpe came in today just a couple of points ahead of Forest Green, and both sides are trailing at the minute, so they'll stay as it stands in 5th place. But as we said, still 28 minutes to go, and really unfortunate that for Ross Barrows, isn't it? He did well to get the ball off of Hadi Gandor, and then cleared the ball forward, and then fell down awkwardly. There's some discussion here between Cal Roberts, Will Evans, Andy Butler and somebody in the crowd. Meanwhile, a substitution for Scunthorpe as Connor Smith, second loan spell I think here at Scunthorpe. You'll confirm that, no doubt. Very impressive previously, not quite hit his levels yet. He's come on presumably for that man Ross Barrows.
No, it's number 8, Alfie Beeston. That's a separate substitution.
Okay, so they're going to have to make a 4th one then. So Connor Smith on, he's the number 32, and it's Dausch, Aidan Dausch, the number 16, who's come on for Danny Whitehall.
Yeah.
So
Mostly
be a 3rd, 4th and
swap.
5th substitution, because Barrows is also going to go off, and he's going to be replaced by Joe Starbuck.
Yeah, that's a straight swap at right back. 2 players who are fullbacks but can also get forward. And,
so
yeah,
just a reminder then for everybody watching and listening, we still have 26 minutes plus added time left, and Scunthorpe United from half time to now have used all 5 substitutes. Yeah. Some of them tactical, some of them injury related. Yeah. Ball around the corner from Patton, he almost gets Abrahams in. Abrahams sprinting, he's got it, and I think it's just going to run through to the keeper, and it's going away behind for a corner off the corner flag. Abraham's in a heap on the floor. I have to say, he literally burst forward there, stretched every sinew, gave his absolute all. Won the coming together, but just a little bit too heavy, which gave Mahadi an opportunity to clear.
Yeah, really good from Tristan Abrahams, good impetus and desire. Created even that half chance, and it was never any more than that, but created that half chance all by himself.
James Henry is going to play the corner short to Hadi Gandor. Now he gets it back. He's had a heavy touch, he's recovered, but now you could get the counter-attack from Scunthorpe with Ubeazono. Callum Roberts gets it. He's got Ryan Hill chasing him in his wake. He's into the left hand of the area, shoots, and Kanaya Boyce Clark denies him at his near post. Second time he's denied Roberts today. And wow, we could have any scoreline here, couldn't we? It looked a bit bizarre in the first half when it could have gone 4-0. It's now 3-1, and Scunthorpe look like they've got more goals in them. Corner comes in from Beeston, headed away by Penny. Follow up from Starbuck out to the right hand side. Beeston's got it. Shot is blocked by Penny. Comes back to him. Is it Beeston? Then back in from Westbrook and caught underneath the bar by Kanaya Boyce Clark. Meanwhile,
Connor Smith.
I beg your pardon. Meanwhile, Cal Roberts has gone down in the area and he's complaining. Aldershot play it forward. Abrahams plays passes with Penny. Abrahams sends it out to the right hand side. James Henry's chasing it. He'll keep it in down by the corner flag. He'll wait for support. He's getting some now from Hargreaves. Hargreaves up against Westbrook, goes back to Henry. 66 minutes gone, still 3-1 shots. Here's Meerholz. Is he going to try a shot from the edge of the area? He is. It's always rising and always going wide. Aldershot already in a couple of substitutes too. It's going to shore things up at the back. Raheem Shackelford and Luke Jenkins coming on. So we'll shortly see who they are for. I can tell you James Henry is definitely going off. He's going to be replaced by Luke Jenkins. That's not a surprising one, Steve. Back-to-back games for James Henry. Played his part in the cohesion that led to Aldershot's domination, particularly by the scoreline in the first half. And he's coming off now in the 67th minute.
Yeah, he put in a shift, done really well. this afternoon, James Henry. You want what he can give you rather than think, well, you can't last 90 minutes, but an hour of James Henry is better than quite a lot of players at this level.
And Hill is going to move into his position. Luke Jenkins is on. He's just double checking where he's coming on. Yeah, so Jenkins is going to play at left back and Shackelford at right. Now that surprises me really, because we know Shackelford can do a job. His debut for Aldershot was at left back, even though he's a right back. Jenkins wasn't available then, and maybe it's just considered that he's the more comfortable in the left back position. Interestingly, Uabazono and Roberts have slightly shifted position as well. I can't remember the last time so many substitutions were done by the 67th, 68th minute.
No, it looks like Roberts is now playing a little bit more central in that attacking front three. Probably, is it behind Dausch, who's now leading the line? And I'm surprised that Luke Jenkins is at left back, unless he's going to be centre back and Sam Inwood's coming across. That one remains to be seen. They're both on the left hand side, but as Inwood clears it up the line. But
is Patton doing well to hold the ball up, send it inside to Hargreaves. Hargreaves spinning through ball. Hadigander away down the left side. He should be able to get a ball in here. Cuts back on his right foot, sends it across, hits Abrahams. It's cleared away. Shackelford will quickly get onto it, lifts his foot and sends it forward. Abrahams almost takes it off the Scunthorpe player. Scunthorpe clear. We've got a game of chaos here, full and utter chaos. Scunthorpe knew 3-0 down at half time. They can only just keep their foot on the pedal, and Aldershot have kept theirs on it too. Inwood sends the ball down the left, well read again by Hadigander. He'll get there first in front of Joe Starbuck. He'll hold it up down by the corner flag, sends it inside now to Hill. Hill back to goal, rolls inside the penalty area. Can he find a shots player? He does, outside the area though. Will Nightingale. Nightingale's got Shackelford on the outside of him. Shackelford holds the ball up. Aldershot just accepted to have a bit of control. Lovely cross in. Oh, Gandor stoops at the far post and can't quite get his header on target. I don't think he thought it was coming to him, Steve, but he had a late effort to get onto it.
Yeah, in the end it was good defending from Starbuck, who knew he didn't need to and couldn't make a clean connection, but he just did enough to put his body between Gandor and the ball, and in the end, all he could do was just get something on it and squeeze it wide.
Halifax have pulled a goal back at York. It's 3-1 there. Eastbourne Borough have gone 2-1 up at home to Torquay. And here, they might get in here, Scunthorpe, but well done Luke Jenkins, who passes the ball back. And then off balance, out of his area, Boyce Clark skews his clearance with his left foot so much, it slices so much that it bounces and goes behind for another corner to the iron. Absolute chaos, full value for money here at the EBB. 4 goals again already, a penalty miss for shots as well. Headed away by Ryan Hill, only as far as Westbrook, who sends it back out to Cal Roberts. Roberts sends it in, Boyce Clark catches, and Aldershot on this occasion roll it short to Ryan Hill, and off they go again to the other end. What a crazy game this second half particularly is looking to be. Ball down the outside from Will Nightingale, chased by Ryan Hill, but he very sensibly switches off the afterburners early on, because he's not going to get that. And while I catch my breath, Steve will bring you up to date. 71st minute, 2,568. Fantastic showing from Scunthorpe, just 4 days after taking 996 to Rochdale. They bring nearly 400 to the EBB, 384 to be precise, in a good crowd of 2,568. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, and everyone will have been entertained, whatever side you're supporting. You'll be enjoying the game. Certainly Aldershot Town fans more than Scunthorpe, but their side are giving it a right go in this second half.
Hargreaves chasing the lost cause down the right hand side. He keeps it in by the corner flag, sends it inside. Meerholz into the area, stabs the cross. Oh, and Charlie Patton swivels and strikes with his right foot. Clears the goal, clears the East Bank roof as well. And it's a goal kick to Scunthorpe. Big opportunity for Patton, who's waited a long time for a third opportunity today, Steve. It's come with 18 minutes to go, and he was found wanting on that occasion.
Yeah, a wayward finish. I think also good defending from his marker. I couldn't quite see who it was, but good defending, throwing his body, forcing Patton to lift the ball, and in the end lifting it high over the bar.
Here's I beg your pardon, Scunthorpe at the other end, but Boyce Clark gets onto it, and Aidan Doush it is that was denied. Momentarily looked like he might get in on the left side. Well, given that Scunthorpe scored just 4 minutes into the second half, Steve, that was what, the 48th minute. Aldershot have now gone pretty close to 25 minutes in a chaotic game with the same scoreline, so they'll probably take that, but they desperately want a fourth goal to put this game to bed.
Yeah, it's not been quite. Yes, they've done well to get through without conceding.
Lovely, sorry, Steve.
Yeah.
Lovely
No,
win from Meerholtz in the middle of the park. Terrific game he's having. Finds Ryan Hill. Hill to Gandor. He's going to go and cut inside against Starbuck. Comes back to Ryan Hill again. Hill back to Jenkins. Jenkins inside to Inwood. Inwood to Gandor, and Gandor finds Ryan Hill. Gandor gallops off again down the left side. Hill, meanwhile, tries to send the ball over. Is headed away by Scunthorpe, headed on by Rowley, but only to Abrahams, who's on the edge of the penalty area. Tries to get room for a shot on his left foot, but he's dispossessed brilliantly. And then Jed Meerholtz comes from nowhere. And he, to me, Steve, he clearly poked the ball from underneath the Scunthorpe players' feet, but respect to the ref who was running alongside. He said foul and yellow card. It might be the first thing I've strongly disagreed with all afternoon. How did you see it, or were you looking down at your...
No, I saw it exactly as you saw it. I thought Jed Meerholtz got the ball, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there wasn't also a foul, but maybe there was some contact around Meerholtz reaching in and getting the touch. The free kick, which is about 3 or 4 yards inside the Aldershot half, will have to be delayed. I think it's Cameron Hargreaves who is down just outside the Scunthorpe penalty area receiving attention.
Yeah, and it was Connor Smith for detail for anybody listening and not watching, that the foul by Meerholtz has given away, and we've got a slight delay in the proceedings. I didn't see what happened with Hargreaves. He jumped and was involved in that attempt to win the ball, didn't win it. I don't know if he then fell awkwardly.
He was stretching a little bit because he was running backwards off balance and was having to stretch to try and make contact with the ball.
We hope he's okay from a shots point of view. If you're an Iron fan, you're probably doubting the legibility, if that's the right word, of Hargreaves going over. He's not one particularly to stay down, Steve.
No. And
he's not one that's full of that sort of nasty nous that would think, hang on a minute, I'll buy us a couple of minutes here. But I would fully understand if you were of iron persuasion and you suspected that right now. 15 minutes left on the clock. I think the added time is going to be stacking up.
It will.
We've had a few delays in this second half. We're just 3 minutes in the first. I think we're already at least 5 or 6, if not more. Hargreaves is okay. He'll have to wait his 30 seconds. And I think Barrows is stood over the free kick on the halfway line. Mahadi thinks about playing it short to him, but Sean Patton reads that and just narrows the angle. I beg your pardon, it might be... Is it?
Barrows is off. I think
he's off. It's Denton. It's Denton. I beg your pardon. My mistake.
Denton and Starbuck are the two.
Yeah, apologies.
Two Scunthorpe players staying back.
Gets it back from his own free kick now, and then it's well nicked, poached by Ryan Hill. Tristan Abraham sends a ball down the right-hand side that can be chased, and Patton surely got no chance against Starbuck. Starbuck gets there first, goes back to Mahadi. Hargreaves is still waiting to come back on. And Rochdale now 3-0 up against Woking. So I think Rochdale have done their bit as part of that deal today, where we said the shots could get above Woking. And Eastbourne Borough, congratulations to them. It's not done yet, but they're beating Torquay United 3-1
wow.
this afternoon. Could be back-to-back defeats for Torquay in their title race. Here Aldershot win a ball through Jenkins. And then, despite having 3 or 4 players on the ball, they play it out to the right and give it straight to Scunthorpe. Fortunately for shots, I think Connor Smith had a heavy touch, and
I think the pass was hit with such such pace that I think that was the only good thing you could say about it, that it wasn't able to be instantly controlled. But Aldershot Town a couple of times now have been a little bit sloppy in their passing and in control of the ball. They need to go back to that cool composure of the first half.
Right, here's Scunthorpe in possession with Boyce. Plays it low down the middle, up towards Ubeazono, and then it's cleared, and then ricochets off Meerholz. Boyce volleys it back into the mix. One in the air by Hill, and then headed out to the left side by Meerholz. Getting the ball back. Lovely first touch, good awareness from him. Gives it back to Hargreaves, gets it back from Hargreaves, and then Hill shifts, and he's surely caught there. He is, by Callum Roberts as he tries to play the ball out to the right hand side. Free kick to the Shots. Keep you abreast of other goals as they fly in the National League, but most importantly here we've had a really lively game from start to this point. 78 minutes gone, 3-1 still to Shots, the scoreline we've had since the 48th minute. Altrincham are still 2-1 up against Braintree. It's 1-1 between Borehamwood and Forest Green. Still 0-0 at Boston v Tamworth, and Brackley against Southend. 2 0-0s in the National League. What's going on? Ball out to the left from Shots, headed inside by Jenkins, back in from Hargreaves to Gandor, and then another little exchange is good. Hargreaves picks it up on the left side, holds the ball up, comes back to Jenkins. Jenkins thinks about a ball into the air, tries it, but finds Boyce. Boyce clears up towards Nightingale. Aldershot might have nicked it back again. They have, but it's a foul. Free kick to Scunthorpe. Carlisle 3, Yeovil 0. Morecambe 4, Eastleigh 0. Take a bow, Aziz, Nolan, Payne and Popov. Finally Jim Bentley is putting together a masterful result there. And I tell you what, Steve, the likes of Eastleigh and Yeovil dropping like stones right now are absolutely in the relegation.
Oh, they are. They are, absolutely.
Still 2-2 between Solihull and Hartlepool. Rochdale 3-0 up against Woking. Sutton looking for back-to-back wins, 2-0 up against Wealdstone, and York 4, Halifax 1. Truro Gateshead is later. And meanwhile, Luke Jenkins shepherds a ball out behind his own goal line, and it will be a goal kick to the Shots. And might this be the calmest 2 or 3 minutes of the match? I've had a chance to give all the other scores in the National League. We're in the 80th minute. We're expecting at least 5 or 6 added minutes at this stage, but it remains Shots 3, Scunthorpe 1.
Yeah, it was good defending from Luke Jenkins. Under pressure from Carlton Ibazonu. Did really well to just hold off the physical challenge and usher the ball behind.
If the Shots prevail today, it'll be the first time they've beaten anybody in the top 5 this season. Ball forward down the right hand side, well read by Sam Inwood, and he'll clear it up the left touch line here, and it'll find touch. Aldershot have recently been playing teams in 7th, 8th position. And now they've just cranked it up a notch higher. They're playing the 5th place side. It'll get higher next week, Steve, on Saturday, 7 days from now. Aldershot Town against Rochdale here at the EBB. Don't miss it. If you can be here, be here. If not, Steve and I'll bring it all to you. Between now and then, Wednesday night, can you do it on a cold Wednesday night in Braintree, in Essex? Braintree at the moment getting beaten today and very much in the relegation fight, as Aldershot are too. They're just top of the bottom right now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I think they're at the moment in form, particularly they're the best team in the bottom half of the table.
That's it, along with Boston. Here's, to be fair to Boston, here's Hargreaves,
as we must.
Carrying the ball out to the left. Aldershot doing quite well in the last 5 or 10 minutes, just managing the situation, the game, the scoreline. Jenkins now will go all the way back to Boyce Clark. He, very composed, will play it first time to Will Nightingale. Nightingale thinks about dribbling past 3 Scunthorpe players and then plays it short. Thank you, Will. And then sends it through Hill, who's had a heavy touch. Second time today, and then a ball through the middle, brilliantly cut out by Will Nightingale. Surges forward again and says, do you know what, Raheem, you've got more energy than me. And Raheem Shecklewood's ball out to the right, aimed for Abrahams on the line, just runs out of pitch. Throw into Scunthorpe, halfway line, just inside their own half, and the clock ticks on into the 82nd minute. Ball out to the left side, nicely cushioned header by Luke Jenkins. If Aldershot play it canny and Scunthorpe got more and more desperate for that second goal, they might just catch them.
Yeah, there will be opportunities as Scunthorpe have to commit bodies forward.
And if Scunthorpe do go and get a second goal, then we're going to have an almighty nervy finish here at the EBB. Here's Inwood sending it out to the left side, kept in on the left touchline by Hargreaves. He's appearing out here a lot at the moment. Sends the ball down the left side. It was a bit of a hit and hope. He hoped that Gandor was running onto it. Wouldn't have mattered if he was, because he put it straight into touch. Starbuck's going to take the throw. It's now Eastbourne 3, Torquay 2, so they got exactly that scenario at Eastbourne. Here at the EBB, Aldershot Town are at the moment leading Scunthorpe United in 5th place by 3 goals to 1. Here's Hargreaves, plays the ball to the middle. He's looking for Hadi Gandor. Hadi Gandor's offside. He misses the chance anyway. Needs to be careful the referee doesn't show him a yellow. He is going to show him a yellow. And Gandor's going to be fair, he doesn't even make out that he didn't hear the whistle. He heard the whistle, he knew the yellow was coming. One of those days I actually feel a bit for the referee for the amount of paperwork he's got to do, because I don't think he's gone looking for these yellows.
No.
Ryan Hill's fouled by Carlton Ubeazuono, and Aldershot have a free kick halfway inside their own half. Yeah, no complaints at all from Gandor. I quite like that. I didn't like the fact that he carried on and got a silly yellow.
Yeah.
But the fact that he didn't then try to do all the protestations. Oh, I didn't hear you, Red.
No
point. The yellow's already out.
His arms were outstretched, but it was basically fair cop gov.
Of course, if you're of Aldershot persuasion, you're just hoping that between now, the 83.5 minutes, and the end, Aldershot prevail and take all 3 points. Beyond that, I'd love to see Hadi Gandor get a goal. He's worked so hard and created so many in recent weeks. Can he find one? Here's Shackelford sending the ball out to Abrahams. He sends it inside. He's bowled over just after he's done so. Referee plays on anyway. Inwood squares it to Luke Jenkins. Jenkins shifts the ball out of his feet and starts down the left-hand side and is badgered by Ubeazuono again. Aldershot have got another free kick. And I think Scunthorpe's desperation to get back in the game, Steve, is A, understandable, and B, the number of silly fouls they're giving away is also.
Yeah, I think that by necessity they are playing on the edge, and in their desire, their intensity to get back into this, they're going to leave space at the back, and they will also make mistakes and perhaps commit a few indiscretions that they otherwise wouldn't do.
We're down to 1-0 this afternoon left in the National League. Brackley 0, Southend 1. Southend always hard to beat, probably don't win enough games, trying to get themselves back in the playoffs. Now today they're winning, Halifax are losing. Brackley have been going really well, almost in the same head of steam as Boston and Aldershot, not quite. That will suck them back into it a little bit today. Here's Meerholtz, can't win it cleanly, and then fouls Connor Smith. Needs to be just a little bit careful now. Meerholtz, he's on that yellow card. He doesn't want to darken an excellent display today with a second yellow. His Boyce sending the ball over the top. Will Nightingale jumps, wins the header. Lovely first touch from Hill, helping it round the corner into the path of Hargreaves. Hargreaves plays it short to Gandor, holds it up, rolls his man. What's he got in front of him? Twists, turns, comes back, finds a gap, then turns it back looking for Hargreaves. Slightly overcomplicated it there. The ball forward from Scunthorpe hits Hargreaves. Are Aldershot going to make any more substitutions today, I wonder, Steve? Is anybody on empty? I don't think they'll want Sean Patton pulling off on a hat-trick, as he's been since the 16th minute. Here's a ball play forward, one in the air by Boyce, helped on by Starbuck, sent back by Luke Jenkins. And then, a really straightforward headed challenge between Hargreaves and Westbrook. And the referee, probably only the third or fourth time today he's got it wrong, but I think he's got that one wrong again. He gives Scunthorpe the free kick. It's play on for me, Steve.
Yeah, I think so. It was fully committed from Cam Hargreaves, but at the very worst, it was shoulder to shoulder. And
he largely has let the game flow pretty well today, the referee. He's had a decent enough game, George Laughlin. Probably show more yellows than he'd like to. Here's a ball headed down by Scunthorpe, cleared forward by Cameron Hargreaves. And Scunthorpe come over halfway with Tyler Denton. And just been sent a note from our producer, Robin Gray. with an Aldershot Town fan listening from China. More on that when we get a chance. Ball over the top from Scunthorpe, will bounce once, headed inside, headed towards goal, and then cleared off the line again. It looked like there was no opportunity, then it looked like it had to go in, and I think Luke Jenkins has cleared it wide off the line for a corner, Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, I think it was Aidan Dausch who had the touch, and there were a few shots, bodies on the line, and somehow the ball has been scrambled behind. But yeah, from nothing, very, very nearly something.
In comes the ball, half cleared, and then surely inwards being held back. He is. Follow-up shot from Scunthorpe is saved by Boyce Clark anyway. Got a message here to say that an Aldershot fan is listening in China today on holiday, wishing a happy birthday to his wife Maria D. Potentially a huge shots win. That's from Trent S. I don't know him, but hopefully you'll be enjoying getting a shout out from China, or in China, all the way from northeast Hampshire, where your shots side are 2 minutes and 10 seconds plus added time away from 3 precious points here at the EBB, but it's not done yet. We know that if Scunthorpe score the next goal, it's going to be a tense last few minutes. Here's Will Evans. He's going to be allowed to come over halfway here. Now he sends a diagonal ball out to the right. Jenkins touches it back and then clears it himself rather than worrying about whether it will reach Boyce Clark. Gets a generous round of applause from the EBB faithful. Scunthorpe building a considered attack here with Rowley and Starbuck. Starbuck then into Uebizono, and Jenkins sees it, pokes it into touch. Throw in to Scunthorpe. The Shots fans are in good voice, trying to style this one out. They'll be feeling quite nervous despite the scoreline, just because of the way the game's gone. In comes the throw, chested down, volleyed forward by Hadi Gandor, held up by Patton, but then wrestled off him by Zane Westbrook, and he finds Will Evans, who probably doesn't have the energy to surge forward, so he pulls another diag out to the right, the left-hand side. That's hooked back in, comes off of Shackelford. Tristan Abrahams is doing some shutting down, and he's won the ball. He's done really well to win the ball. Can he now find the pass? He's ridden one challenge. He plays it on the floor. Sensible ball, well played. Tristan Abrahams finds Hadi Gandor. Hadi Gandor's running against Joe Starbuck. He's into the penalty area, going to the byline, squares it across, and he lifts it too far and too long. Shackelford's chasing it, and oh my word, Shackelford, how did he get there? Coming back from a hamstring injury, and he managed to play it off of Tyler Denton, which means it's a throw into Aldershot. Understandably tired legs for Hadi Gandor, Steve, but yeah. For Scunthorpe, it's the substitute, I think, Joe Starbuck, that's gone down. I might be wrong, I'll try and confirm that. He might have landed awkwardly. It won't be fatigue in his case.
No, it does look like he's in the right back position, and it's not Ubejono, who's the other player on the right side for Scunthorpe. But yeah, the best thing you can say about that Hadi Gandor cross is that Raheem Shackelford made it look good.
777 is the number. You can guess what the number is for. It's the added time here at the end of this game at the EBB. 7 minutes now, but let's also take a note of when the game restarts, because we have a stoppage.
There will be a bit more.
It'll be 7 minutes from when we get back underway, so it's probably going to go to at least 98 minutes. When we restart, it's going to be an Aldershot Town throw. Understandably tired legs from Hadi Gandor. My goodness me, if you gave man of the matches for work rate, he'd be in the shake-up every week.
Yeah.
I think we've got a bizarre situation here, a number of contenders, but one of those contenders is Aldershot Town's goalkeeper, Boyce Clark.
Yep.
Steve gets to name the man of the match today. There's no juries or votes or best ofs, it's just Steve's choice, that's all. There's Shackelford making a run forward, he goes down, wondered if he was fouled, nothing given. Scunthorpe send it forward, and Jenkins cushions a header into the path of Nightingale, who, cool as you like, just sends it to Inwood. Inwood finds Gandor. Gandor's cutting straight through inside to the edge of the penalty area, tries the shot and just gets the direction of the shot wrong, and he just won't give up. He desperately wants that goal, but I tell you what, Hadi Gandor, when the next game starts. If you've got the energy, if you're fit enough, you'll be in that side because you've been superb. Keep it going, fella. Goal kick to Scunthorpe. Mahadi takes. Not been beaten in the second half, beaten 3 times in the first, and then watched Ryan Hill's penalty sail over the bar. Shouts for handball for shots not given. Held up by Hadi Gandor. Plays it off Stain Westbrook. You could understand if Aldershot were in a low block here, but it's not their way. They're still trying to take it forward. To that extent, they will leave gaps at the back. So Sean Patton's been given the official man of the match. He scored 2 goals in the opening 16 minutes. I might be wrong on this, but I don't think he's going to get Steve's. I don't think, but we'll see in a few minutes. Steve doesn't know himself yet.
Yeah, I haven't got a clue, so you're telling me.
No, I don't know. It's just a gut feeling.
I have an inkling.
Here's Abrahams chasing a lost cause on the right hand side. Scunthorpe go all the way back to their keeper. I think there's at least one defender and a goalkeeper in the shake up here, isn't there? So anyway, let's focus on the action.
Maybe.
93 minutes very nearly gone. Free kick to Aldershot as Will Nightingale, who in my opinion I think has had a really good game. There you go. I think I've dropped all the names in now.
Has he been I've not noticed him.
He's been alright, hasn't he? Anyway, listen, we've got 4 added minutes, which is almost certainly 5, and it's still 3-1 to Aldershot Town, which was the score 48 minutes in. I don't know how, Steve, we've not had any more goals since. Both sides could have scored 2 or 3, couldn't they?
Yeah, it's, you see closing out, or at the moment closing out a routine 3-1 win, having been 3 up at half time. You'd think that's really good game management from Aldershot Town, but I think John Coleman will highlight the fact that they've been a little bit sloppy, not at their own high standards in this second half.
Here's Aldershot on the attack with Hargreaves, sends a ball round the corner and Patton just toes it into the path of Abrahams. Abrahams tries a shot, that's blocked, comes back out to Meerholz. Now back to Ryan Hill, who sees a bit of space to the right of him and enters it and then goes down, and he's fouled again. And Scunthorpe just understandably a little bit too desperate to try and win the ball back, but the shots have been keeping the ball well, Stephen. They've been keeping the ball at the right end of the the right end of the pitch too. Yeah,
they have. That was good play from Ryan Hill. You could see he was running down the cul-de-sac back towards his own halfway line, but he knew that he was going to get fouled and he just waited for the contact to come.
Ryan Hill's got sore fingers here. He's up and he'll carry on and he'll see this game out, but Aldershot take the free kick. Shacklesford's got it. He's on the right side, sends it into Meerholz. Second game starting consecutively in the centre of midfield alongside Hargreaves, and you think they'd been playing together forever. Here's Abrahams picking the ball up 30 yards out, twists, sends it out to the right hand side to Hargreaves. Hargreaves back to to Abrahams, now out to Shackleford. Meerholz, Shackleford, Nightingale skips past his man, lovely little skip step, and then Scunthorpe do win it. The ball ends up in touch, it'll be a throw to Scunthorpe. Meanwhile, there's 95 minutes and 7 seconds gone. We've got 2, probably 3 added minutes left. Aldershot Town 3, Scunthorpe United 1. The shot's going to continue their upward momentum. Congratulations to Morecambe, a magnificent 4-0 home win against Eastleigh today. Here's some heading in midfield. Referee, I think, has got that one spot on. Foul on Meerholz. The Scunthorpe player was just a little bit late into it. The players from both sides are absolutely shattered, Steve. It's still a fairly heavy pitch after the recent postponements.
Yeah.
And both sets of players from both teams, it'll feel like poppycock to Scunthorpe fans, I'm sure, but I want to congratulate all the players from both teams who've made it an excellent spectacle this afternoon.
Yeah, credit to Scunthorpe. They've certainly made a game of it in this second half. They could have let their heads drop at half time, but they've given it a go. Not quite the kitchen sink, but yeah, I think they've restored a little bit of pride in the second half.
Here's a good ball around the corner from Connor Smith, and now Westbrook sends it out to the right side. Jenkins goes to ground, can't win it cleanly. Uebazono there, and then Jenkins comes again. That's the spirit of Luke Jenkins, lunging into tackles. The guy's back 3 or 4 games from being out for over a year with an ACL injury, and you wouldn't know it. But corner to Scunthorpe in the 96th minute, and it comes. Headed away by him again, Jenkins, follow-up shot, cleared off the line, into the path of Hargreaves. Hargreaves finds touch. Another throw-in to Scunthorpe. Denton's come over to the right side to take it, sends it back to Rory Mahadi. Mahadi sends it into the heart of the area. Will Nightingale wins the header but can only find Starbuck. There is the final whistle. Just 8 seconds over the 7 minutes played by the referee, and an enthralling game has been won here by Aldershot Town, beating a side from the top 5 for the first time this season. The majority of the work was done in the opening 33 minutes. 2 goals from Sean Patton, 1 from Brodie Pear, and then a response at the start of the second half from Scunthorpe through Danny Whitehall. But no more goals, just sheer chaos played out in front of us. Another 4-goal game at the EBB. Final score, Aldershot Town 3, Scunthorpe United 1.
And a thoroughly deserved home victory for Aldershot Town on the basis of that dominant first half performance. Being harsh, being overly critical, they didn't match those standards in the second half. Scunthorpe were able to come back into it, perhaps as they were always going to. For all of their recent failings, they are still a very good side with lots of quality front to back, but they couldn't muster enough of a comeback to claw it back from that first half deficit. Excellent from Aldershot Town, who continue this difficult run against teams in the top 8, the top 10 of the table, and at the moment they're coming out on top, and that's huge credit to John Coleman and what this team, this burgeoning reborn team, are achieving. They're performing excellently, and at the moment they fear nobody, and they have to have that mentality because the leaders are in town next week, and that is going to be sorely tested. But this afternoon they've come up against what we said before kickoff was perhaps their biggest challenge of this rejuvenated team, and they've come through with flying colours. They've done superbly. Excellent, quick out the blocks start to the game, and then they've clung on, showing that defensive resolve against a really good Scunthorpe team who have got lots of attacking prowess, lots of different attacking qualities. But Aldershot Town have stood up when it matters. They've stood up and been counted, and they've come through it with flying colours.
On the return of the Strays, the second year that the Stray shots around the country and around the world, if they could, have got here to the game. And there's going to be some atmosphere tonight in the lounge, because they'll be doing a rerun of the FA Trophy win as well, and the FA Trophy there as well on display for one of the last times. If the scorelines as they are and most of the games have finished stay as they are, then Aldershot Town will have moved 9 points clear of the relegation zone today and are in 12th position in the National League table. Almost unthinkable 6 weeks ago. Scunthorpe hold on to 5th place. Forest Green just a point behind them as things stand, and they will have bigger days and better days to come. But terrific showing from the shots, and a little bit like Yeovil on Tuesday night, Steve, very difficult to find a player in the team who hasn't had a good game. But give us your little final group, Ali McCoy style, and then who your man of the match is.
I don't have to do the Scottish accent, do I?
No.
Good. Yeah, Kanaya Boyce Clark, definitely, for a couple of really timely, excellent saves and an overall confident, strong performance. Sean Patton for the 2 goals. But for me, Will Nightingale.
Agreed.
Excellent at the back. Just composure, experience, resilience, quality, nous, whatever you want from a centre half.
Everything.
Will Nightingale's got it.
Yeah, I agree.
And for me, he stood out amongst a very good bunch.
Very good bunch.
He stood out.
They were strong performances in the heart of midfield as well from Hargreaves, and Jed Meerholtz, who I think has probably had his best game in an Aldershot Town shirt, and he's probably only 4th or 5th when you come to the man of the match. So well done, Sean Patton, enjoying the applause down in front of us. He's up to 4 goals now, and God willing, from an Aldershot Town point of view, Steve, I'm guessing most of any Scunthorpe listeners have tuned out now. Patton and Warren could have a nice little push towards the end of the season. Warren back fit against
definitely
for the top scorers, but somebody who'll keep battling away with them is Hadi Gandor, and another one that
he was one of those that was in the mix, just for his work rate, his ambition. Doesn't always come off, but as you said, if awards were given out for work rate and resolve and tenacity and commitment, Hadi Gandor would be up there every single week. And that is a key part of what John Coleman is doing. That for a while there has been a bit of a standing joke of Aldershot Town having non-goal scoring strikers, but Hadi Gandor brings so much to this team and so much to the party, and he is definitely, as a Shots fan who's just walked past has said, happy days are here again. That 12th place was unthinkable a few weeks ago. If you use that 5-1 reverse at York as the turning point, because after that Aldershot Town earned a much needed, desperately needed 2-1 home win against Altrincham. Since that game, after York, Aldershot Town were 23rd in the table on 13 points, only had 3 wins. Since then, in those 11 games, they've moved up to 12th, and they're now on 39 points with 11 wins. That is, I don't want to use the word miraculous, but that's such an impressive turnaround, an unthinkable turnaround, that in my quieter, isolated moments, I was thinking, Aldershot Town are down here. Where are they getting? You couldn't see where the next win was coming from, and you're looking at the fixtures, including this run of home games against teams in the top 8, thinking they could lose all of them. And you think, well, they're playing Sutton at home in April, they're going to Truro in April. Between December and then, you're thinking, where are they picking up points? And that they're unrecognisable from the team that looked shot to pieces at the start of December. And a playoff push is entirely out of the question, but they could, it's not unthinkable that they might squeeze into the top 10. And from 23rd, after half of the season, that is miraculous. And that's huge credit to the impact that John Coleman has had on the players that were already here and the players that he's brought in that have boosted the quality of the starting 11 and the depth of the squad. And that's and I can't think of the list of players that are out injured.
It's still around 9 or 10.
Yeah, and 9 or 10 players who, not just fringe players who might make the bench every now and then, they're players that would be either guaranteed starting or in with a good shout of a start every single week, like Josh Barrett, like Tyler Frost, that have got the versatility and the quality to work their way into this starting 11. And John Coleman hasn't seen any of them, or has seen them fleetingly in a competitive scenario, and that just adds to the quality and the success that he is having here.
I've got to admit, Steve, we're carried away with another exciting game, lots of goals and all the rest of it. But I'm just having a little pinch me moment, realising what Aldershot have done. Not so much over the last couple of months, because I've been living and breathing it and watching and calling every minute of it. But what they've done today is that all the building blocks they've put in place they've used that foundation today and gone on with genuine belief that they could go out there and win that game of football today.
Yeah, and I think that is that B word is such an intangible thing in any sport, but certainly in football, Aldershot Town had so little of it, or visibly from the outside. Maybe the dressing room was still, we believe in us, we know we can and are going to get ourselves out of this. But even supporters, for people who have been watching this club for longer than they care to remember, who want with all of their being for Aldershot Town to turn it around, belief had started to fade. And it didn't. You did wonder where the next goal was coming from, where the next draw was coming from, much less where the next win was coming from.
It's crazy.
And now they're probably, along with York, they're the two teams at the top of the form table.
Yeah, and Rochdale as well, yeah.
And Rochdale, of course, and that will be such a strong test of this new Aldershot Town next Saturday when the Dale come to the Ebb Stadium. But Rochdale will be thinking, and Jimmy McNulty, the Rochdale manager, will be looking at Aldershot Town now, thinking, I don't fancy this. This isn't a routine gimme 3 points now. Even a team like Rochdale will emerge at this time next Saturday thinking, wow, we've been in a game. Whatever the result, Rochdale may come here and win, and even win relatively comfortably, but they will know that they've been in a game. Aldershot Town won't just lay down and die. Aldershot Town won't just be turning up and making up the numbers. They will give it a good go and ask serious questions of Rochdale, who will have to work really hard and probably be something approaching their best to emerge back up to Greater Manchester with 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Possibly, I don't know. We probably won't get the biggest crowd of the season next Saturday, but you'd hope that it might be up and around the 2,500 again. Rochdale probably bring a similar number, I would think.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, the league leaders, whoever they are, always come with an extra little bit of glamour, and that a few people will make the extra effort to make sure that they make this one, because they know the atmosphere will be electric, that it will be, if you're standing on the East Bank, you know that will be a buzzing, buoyant, vibrant place to be, and the perfect place from which to enjoy a no-holds-barred, full-blooded, full-committed game where two teams are giving it their all and trying to win. And Aldershot Town will not come here and shut up shop and think, well, if we can just throttle the life out of this game and take a 0-0, we'll be happy. No,
not going to happen.
No, it will not happen.
Not going to happen.
They will give it their all and go for the win.
Yeah, and of course, between now and then, just a small matter of a Wednesday night in Braintree.
Exactly. You cannot
not been
discount
happy
that.
Yeah.
You cannot think, oh, Rochdale next Saturday, that'll be good. Because if you take your eye off the ball, you'll leave Essex on Wednesday night with a bloody nose.
Exactly that.
And that cannot. They cannot allow that to disrupt Aldershot Town's momentum.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might as well not bother with Rochdale next Saturday if you take your eye off on the ball at Braintree.
Yeah. What's staggering with Scunthorpe is they conceded 3 against Carlisle, 6 against Boston, 3 against Aldershot, but kept Rochdale down to 1.
Yeah, and I think that was partly...
Maybe they used up all their luck on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, I think after conceding 6 at home, like Aldershot Town have seen it, after a heavy defeat, it's safety first.
Yeah.
You maybe go a little bit more defensive, the midfield sits a bit deeper, your defenders are maybe less thinking about launching a counter-attack than repelling the opposition. And if you get the ball over the halfway line, that's job done. And having watched the highlights, Rochdale should have won quite comfortably. Even if you take Manny Di Sarue's non-penalty out of the equation, and whether Danny Whitehall had a hand in that or not, or whatever. But in open play, Rochdale had enough possession and territory and chances that they should have won that game. And there were still frailties in the Scunthorpe defence that they should have exploited. But maybe then you think, okay, let's safety first, let's take a point, let's be more cautious than normal maybe, sacrifice a bit of attacking intent if it means we're solid at the back. But then, and yes, that comes with the caveat that it's against a team like Rochdale at the Crown Oil Arena who are flying. But this afternoon they were open again, and my Boston United supporting friend Stephen Cook texted me saying, Scunthorpe, they play a high line, they're open, hit them on the counter and you'll profit. And Aldershot Town's second goal, when Ryan Hill broke down this right hand side, is a carbon copy of at least one of the goals that Boston scored last week. And John Coleman said it about a goal that Aldershot conceded against Woking, having conceded at Rochdale. You don't want to concede the same goal 2 weeks in a row, because that means once is careless, twice is something worse. That means you're not learning your lessons. And I think the Scunthorpe dressing room will be pointing that out. The Scunthorpe manager will be saying, well, okay, he'll be looking, have we learnt from last week? And the evidence suggests they haven't. And that's, for me, is most damning in their performance this afternoon, that they've shown the same failings. And I'll shut up because Will Nightingale.
He's coming up in a minute, but
I want to hear what he's got to say more than I've got to say, and I'm sure everyone else does as well.
Exactly. I know you've said the words, forget Rochdale next week, there's Braintree away on Wednesday, but you're not going, are you? Or are you?
To Braintree? I will try. I would like to. I think other commitments prevent me, but I have considered it. It has entered my mind.
I've got to check my WhatsApp messages, but I think Julian is coming to that one, which
that's
is
fine.
Bizarre if he is.
That's fine.
And we may or may not get Mr. Neil Smudger-Smith there as well, who's assistant manager at Crawley now, but loves the National League game. I don't know his availability, but he wanted to do it.
I'll put my feet up and enjoy the the commentary.
Thank you, Steve. Nice one.
How are we? Good to see you, Rob.
I wouldn't have asked if I'd known.
No, that's just normal.
That's
normal.
Have a seat, fella. You deserved it. You deserved it. All right. Now, if it's all right with you, we won't. Robin, my boss, loves to video and interview these days, and you're a good-looking boy, so you can handle it. Right. Okay, 1 second. If I give you that one. So our online listeners may still be with us. If not, this will be recorded for BBC Surrey. We've got Will Nightingale up here with us, and we're going to let him stretch his legs out a bit because he deserves it. Will, terrific win in isolation on the day, but what it looked to us looking on was that the foundations that have been put in place over recent weeks, you went on today and you genuinely went as a side into that game with a genuine belief that you could beat a side in the top 5.
Yeah, definitely. I think recently we've got that feel-good factor. Credit to the gaffer, he's been unbelievable since he's come in, and we're going into every game with confidence. The scary thing is we know we can even be better than today. So obviously, over the moon with the 3 points, but that's what it's been over the last few weeks. It's not been enjoying it too much. It's just been, get the job done and reset to the next game, and that's what it will be from now until the end of the season. Focus on the next game in hand, and the boys have been unbelievable. Everyone to a man.
There's been a bit of continuity in the side, but just 1 or 2 tweaks here and there. It doesn't seem to matter though which personnel come in or out. Charlie's been in great form. He's a little knock, missed a couple of games, and Brodie's come in and scored his goal today. And for Sean Patton, what a terrific 4 days, 3 goals in 2 games.
Yeah, unbelievable. The thing is that you have to rely on your squad. Like you said, we've got players that are racking up games and appearances, but you need to rely on your squad. And that probably harmed us a little bit early on in the season. I think we had a serious amount of bad luck. I think there was 16 of us out at one point. It's going to hurt any team in the world. The character that the boys are showing every week, whether we go in winning position or whether we fall behind, the character is unbelievable. Sean's been brilliant. You can see he's a real poacher, he's a real striker. That first goal it's like a poacher's goal really, but the second, what a finish. But all of the forwards have been incredible really. You know, Haddy's been electric. I mean, it's even good to see Tristan back in amongst it. Brodie, who started today. Charlie, who said. So yeah, I feel like whoever's coming into the team is marking their stamp down and, you know, staking a claim for wanting to start.
Jed Meerholtz was here earlier in the season. Due to the lack of numbers and lack of bodies, he had to play slightly out of position, really, probably for him as left centre back. This time he's come back with a little bit of a vacancy with Dayan and with Theo out. And my goodness me, he's hit the ground running in those 2 games as well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, he can come in and say he's played 2 games and won 2, so, you know, it's brilliant for him. And you know, everyone's creating their own little thing here. And you know, Jed obviously he's built a good amount of experience this season. Really, he had to fill in, like you said, at centre half. You know, not his favourable position, but I think he done a lot of good things early in the season, even when things were rocky at times. You know, he showed his quality, and you know, he's come back, and now he's playing in midfield. And yeah, it's been a great start for him, but I think the gaffer's big on, you know, not resting on your laurels really, and that's what it's been, a great start. But now, can you keep it up? Can you go again and again and again? And that's what we want to do here. You know, we want to create that consistency, and we're doing it at the minute, but we can't rest there. Got to go till the very end.
Now, we had a lot of trouble on Tuesday, and even more trouble today, trying to pick a man of the match. Sometimes it's the sum of the parts, isn't it? It's not like, oh, Aldershot are flying right now because these 2 people are playing well. It's right across the team. For the record, you were our Aldershot Town man of the match today.
Oh wow, I didn't expect that.
You just look like you're just enjoying your football, Will. You're controlling it, you're leading it, you're winning your battles. We all know Danny Whitehall's one of the toughest centre forwards that you'll come up against in the division this year, and right from minute 1 you wanted to make it your day.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's experienced. You know, he tries to make things difficult by his clever fouls. But yeah, just wanted to do my job really. Bit surprised, got a little mention for, you know, or what you said there. But I think, yeah, like you said, anyone could have got it. I think, you know, naturally the goal scorer deserves it really. You know, the match winner, Sean. But I think you've got to give a big shout out to Kanaya as well. Incredible really. And I think that's what good teams have, winning teams have. They don't rely on, you know, 1 or 2 people turning up. They rely on at least 7, 8, and that's what we seem to be having at the minute. There's everyone that's putting in good performances, and you know, sometimes we're going to make mistakes out there. It happens at every single level, but it's when someone makes a mistake and your mate get you out of trouble, and that seems to be happening quite a lot at the minute. You know, the work rate, the graft. You know, people like Cammy, the amount of work he puts in. You know, Skip, Hilly, he's consistent every week. Everyone could name absolutely everyone. Even Matty Penny coming in, slotting in. Ollie Scott's been amazing, but he's come in and, you know, had a great game as well. So I think that's the big thing about Aldershot at the minute, is that everyone is putting in a good performance, and so yeah, we've got to draw confidence from that.
I totally agree with that. People will leave here today, and the majority of the Shots fans who probably come to home games, of course with a little bit of luck there'll be a few hundred in the week as well, but they'll probably left here thinking about Rochdale next Saturday. But you as professionals, and John when he comes up, it's not even on your radar, is it? Because you've got that difficult looking, can you do it on a Wednesday night at Braintree?
Yeah, that is literally it. That is, whenever I've been in successful teams that have gone on winning runs, it is literally all the focus on the next game. And I'll be honest, I didn't actually know it was Rochdale at home next Saturday. But yeah, the form we're in, you know, bring on anyone. And you know, but Wednesday night's going to bring us a different challenge, and it's going to be just as difficult as probably today, you know, away at Braintree. But I can't fault the team's character, the resilience, you know, what we've had to go through this season. So, you know, I'm not worried at all whatsoever. And yeah, another opportunity to have a good game. And like you said, I'm enjoying my football at the minute, and I'm looking forward to it. And
let's just take it back to finish. Ironically, you and I had a good chat on the train down to Truro on that Wednesday night, and you left the ground hobbling very badly with a couple of your colleagues just helping you to even limp out of the stadium, and you were out for quite a long while as well, weren't you? How good is it just to be back and playing games week in, week out, Will?
Yeah, it was, you know, it was a frustrating time for me. I think I went into the off season, and you know, being honest, I took the off season to completely rest, and I didn't do enough to get myself in probably the place that I should have been. And you know, this season was kind of sprung upon me. I think I signed on the Wednesday before the start of the season. You know, ideally I would have wanted to have been built up into it, but the football world doesn't work like that. You know, ended up coming on in the first game of the season and was just playing from there. And it's unfortunate. I've rolled my ankle, had a bit of time out, but I'm grateful that I've managed to come back and rack up a decent amount of appearances now. I think 25 games, I think, or something like that is what I'm on. So I just want to finish strong from now until the end of the season. I feel in a good place, and I just want to try and help the club, help the team, and just carry on enjoying it is what I want to do.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Nice one, Rob.
Will
Cheers, mate.
Nightingale joining us there. Much appreciated, fella. We'll let you limp back to the dressing room. Take it easy. Go steady. All the best, mate. And you. Cheers. I'm not sure if you're still with us online. Maybe one or two of you could just drop me a message if you are. Hopefully it won't be too long before John Coleman joins us as well. Bit of a bonkers game in the National League today that was still going on for a long period. Solihull Moors were 2-0 up against Hartlepool. At one point it finished Solihull Moors 3, Hartlepool 4 in the end. Bit of a crazy one. Truro against Gateshead will kick off shortly. I'm just having a look at that table again. So the Shot's now up to 39 points and incredibly up to 12th position in the table. I think 6-7 weeks ago both Aldershot and Boston dipped into. Aldershot were 7 points adrift in the relegation zone, and they now sit 11th and 12th. It just shows you that those kind of recoveries can occur from the depths of a difficult season. Aldershot have gone above Tamworth today. They've gone above Woking today, and they are also ahead of Altrincham, Brackley, Wealdstone, Eastleigh, Sutton and Yeovil, and all those teams are outside the bottom four, which is currently Braintree, Morecambe, Truro and Gateshead. Braintree have 30 points and will of course be relishing an opportunity to take that to 33 on Wednesday, not Tuesday, Wednesday, against Aldershot Town. Oh, cheers, Greg, for letting us know that we're still on air. That may end fairly soon, and I don't have control over that, but I will keep. Thank you, Paul Bertie Reynolds, as well. I will keep the lines open. I'm going to stick around a little bit myself today and enjoy the atmosphere in the EBB Lounge afterwards, because they're going to show a rerun of the FA Trophy win back in May, and I think that was only going to be an enjoyable evening if Aldershot had a good result here today. Pleased to say that John Coleman's coming up now and will join us very shortly.